gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Music right on cue. I like it. Welcome to, and hear me forgetting this part right here. Welcome to the cage match, everybody.
Only had one job.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna race
one
for time. I'm gonna race for time trying to share it to every single page I have on the Facebook. And here we are. All right, welcome to another episode of the Cage Match. It's a slow off-season news right now because nothing's happening, but we always find things. We always find stuff to talk about. And we're going to do a mulligan from last show because I shut it off too early by accident, because I do that.
On purpose?
Well, just ask Raider Homer. That's not the first time I shut off a show. I unplugged it by accident, but it is what it is.
Shouts out Raider Homer.
And here we are. And what is up? Raider Man 19, the man of the oath. You see him every beginning of the show, in the intro, doing the oath. How you doing, Raider Man?
Oh man, God is good. I feel better than that. I'm on one of them extravaganza type of moods right now, man. Newly employed, looking to start off life in a brand new fashion. Everything's hopeful. Zato 19 weeks old. It's a whole lot going on, man. I'm happy to be a part of it.
And Asylum. How you doing, Mr. Jim Otto? You are Mr. Cage Match, basically. Every single show that has ever been aired, you've been on.
Knock on wood that streak continues. I'm trying to break him on the streak. He got 210, and I'm only at, what do we got, 61 now, something like that. So I got a little ways to go, but I'm doing good. For being an off-season and no Raiders football. I'm jonesing.
No pressure.
Hope you're not Chandler jonesing. All right, then. Let's go into the episode. But before we do,
so you never know.
Before we do anything, let's go into our favorite subject, shameless plug.
Shameless plug. All right. Excuse me. Go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and hit that bell while you're at it so you know when we drop new episodes. If you don't do Facebook for whatever reason, you can catch us on the Oakland Raiders Savage page and the Asylum page. Don't forget about W, our little sponsor there. Go to WGG, place your order. When you go to sign out, go to the discount code, Cage Match, one word, and get 10% off your whole order.
And when you think of wins, you think of dubs. And when you think of dubs, you'll think of Dubby. Get the energy like Max Crosby. Go into the discount code box. Put Cage Match one word for 10% off your full order. And
it
just
works,
go, just go crazy loco like everybody else on this show is. But we're natural.
You big Dubby.
And also, shouts out to Fabian the Compa. Go to www.rn4lifer.com, RaiderNationForLifer.com for great merch. All my hats that I wear in the show was exclusively from Fabian to me, so that is from his collection. Go on there. You will not be disappointed. And once again, we're going to shout out, hold on, because he made these, our merch right here. We got our koozies. Scan that code right there. And we got our lanyards. So we have that. Thank you, Fabian, for that. And also remember, because Raider Man is a staple on the show, we always support him too. Go to RaiderMan19.com. The Raider Man from Richmond podcast will be up and going real soon. But we always have him on the show to make sure that the bullhorn of the black hole says what he has to say. And also,
our show off every time we come on.
And he
it's been a beautiful shameless plug session too, man. Shouts out to all the folks, new followers amidst. Keep hitting that hamburger up in that top right-hand corner on the Raider Man from 19.com webpage and support that and pick up your Raider Oath merch. We got to get that Raider Oath project going. The brothers got this wonderful petition to get your friendly neighborhood out there at the torch. Light this bad boy off, man. It's supposed to be happening every single freaking home game. I'm going to keep on kicking the drum, and I'm happy to have a bullhorn to push the bullhorn, man. Cage match, baby.
And that's what we're trying to do is, I'm trying to use all my sources that I have in Las Vegas to get to the man himself, Mr. Davis, and tell him, bro, you haven't even had Raider Man on the torch yet, man. You late to the party.
That's hardcore. Working on some teaser behind the scenes stuff too. See, we can't pull a tickle feather on him and see we can't shake up the craw a little bit. We're pulling some stuff from behind the cage, man. Cage match might be coming off the top turnbuckle.
Off the top of the cage. For that,
underneath the mat, the chairs coming out.
Ringside table splat.
Boom. All right, now. Our last week's show was about Raider hate, and then I unplugged it by accident because my sound went out. So let's hope I don't do that again. So we're just going to do a real quick run through on this first 45 minutes or an hour or so. So let's get right into it. I'm going to replay this video, and then I'm going to read as fast as I can. So I'm going to try to be like those guys on ESPN with the teleprompter. Here we go right here. All right. On January 19th and January 23rd, AP was named head coach and Tom Telesco was named GM, which made Jim Harbaugh, who was going to go for the Raiders, was hired on January 24th. Then on March, damn it, it was too fast. Okay, you know what? Here's basically what happened, okay? I was trying to go real fast, but I couldn't do it real fast. I realized whatever. Anyways, this is all the stuff that happened during the offseason. You had Tom Telesco got hired. AP was hired over Jim Harbaugh after they introduced Jim Harbaugh. After they introduced AP and Tom Telesco, Jim Harbaugh was hired by the Chargers, which is within the division, and then in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson were tied to the Raiders' quarterbacking position. Ironically, they both went to the Steelers. On free agent opening March 14th, Christian Wilkins and Gardner Minshew was signed to the Raiders, but they lost Josh Jacobs to the Packers. And then before the draft, Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix were tied to the Raiders.
Robertson too.
What?
We lost to Meek too.
Yeah, I know, but no one remembers Amik, okay? We're talking about key.
Hold on, that game-winning interception. Nobody remembers Amik, right?
Yes, I know, but people are talking about how we didn't re-sign Josh Jacobs, and then on draft day, Jaden goes to Washington in the second pick. Michael Penix goes to Atlanta with the 8th pick, which is a surprise. Even the Falcons are like, wait a minute, and then we ended up selecting Brock Bowers
Number
with our
19.
13th pick, he is a tight end that we didn't. It wasn't a position of need, but they said that when you have the best player in the draft and he lands on your lap, you have to take him. That's what the Raiders did, and because of all that, the media, whether it's ESPN, whether it's social media, even within our own fan base, do not like some of the moves that the Raiders have done. So the question is the gripe with, I know it doesn't each and individual ones, whatever, but is the gripe that you hear on the media and on your phones, on social media, is there any validity, or is it just sour grapes, Raider hate? We're going to start with Asylum Goat.
On all of it, or just individually? I mean, in general, are we doing a broad base here?
Well, pick your platter, pick whatever you want to pick stuff from,
I mean, when it comes down to it, I think it's it's not so. It's just hate from the media for some of it. I mean, fans feel the way they feel, and I'm not going to say that they're wrong for feeling the way they feel. But like you said, when it comes to Bowers, tight end so high, yeah, you have all these sayings of, I remember a time we took a kicker in the first round, high up in the first round. Nobody ever done that before.
Janikowski, 2000.
You don't do that. You don't do that. But, he's all you hear is generational player, the best player on the board. Nobody expected him to drop to 11th. I'm sorry, 13th. So, what are you going to do? When he drops to 13, you're going to fucking take him, right? I mean, then on that note with that, we went from what's Getsy going to do to now being able to implement an offense that all defenses hate which is 12 personnel, because now we got 2 tight ends that could block and catch. So now defenses are going to hate playing this offense, and no matter who the quarterback is, Aiden O'Connell, but no matter who the quarterback is, what's the quarterback's favorite guy to check down to? His safety blanket is the fucking tight end. There you go, Team Ramrock. In the tight end. You take that generational player if he's there, best player on the board. You let the draft come to you. We didn't panic. Like I said, thank you, Atlanta, for panicking. You saved me a headache. And and all the other shit, I mean, I could go on AP, all that shit. I just think it's the media hating on the Raiders because that's what they do. And we're supposed to go finish last in the division yet again for what year? Fucking 67.5. I mean,
whatever.
It's bullshit.
Trying to give me some money up so I can go drop me a bet. I don't gamble, but this year they prime pickings for me this year. They need to see about 500 shreds from Raider Man pocket this year. I'm ready to go all in.
I need to send you some money so you go put a bet down for me.
It's real talk. It's real talk, and I'm putting my neck out there over the damn gamble right now because I don't bet. That's just one thing I don't do. I'm a super frugal. I'm sheep sharp. You know what I mean? I got money to spend on all too many other things. But this year, with them taunting us with that low hanging fruit, 6.5, I understand it's Vegas, but that's why they make percentages. They don't win them all. They just win a lot. I think this time for Raider fans to come up.
I bet usually when I bet it's because I'm going to win. So fucking, I'm going to put my money down because I'm going to win.
I'll jump in there on this one, man, because, for me, and shouts out to some of the folks following in the chat. I saw Queen Anna pop up in there. I saw Aaron Smith. I can't keep up. My eyesight ain't that great, but just want to shout out the folks that's out there, getting on the viewership. It seems that everybody really already has the same understanding. We Raider fans are way too smart for this clickbait crap. It's being forced on us, and it's unfortunate. Our team is out of the market and whatnot. I think it kind of falls on the hands or on the sword. I think the Raider media, if you will, is falling on the sword in front of the fans because they're playing us cheap. We should have a lot better information coming out to see a dilemma. Not even really a dilemma. We came up this draft. I would challenge any knowledgeable Raider fan. Now, if you just want to argue, that's fine. Go ahead and state your case. But any knowledgeable Raider fan who loves the game of football, I would love to hear their honest argument about why they don't think that this is one of the best Raider drafts ever. I mean, and Okay, I'll just ask you a plain question. Everybody's chasing the quarterback, and everybody's got this narrative. And I hate to say everybody; that's too generalized. So many people. Let's put it that way. So many people are regurgitating this narrative that the Raiders don't even have a quarterback. Completely discounting Aiden O'Connell. I'm completely with you, Asylum. Aiden O'Connell, MVP candidate this year. You let me tell it. I think he's going to be the comeback, not comeback player of the year, most improved player of the year. And I believe he'll have our team in playoff contention if we just go out there and execute. And I don't think that's too hard to do with our lineup. So to think the fact that, Atlanta was a perfect example. They panicked right in front of us at number 8. Everybody projected Michael Penix Jr. to come to us. The prominent new Raider media was just ramming that dude down everybody's throat as Michael Penix, Michael Penix Jr. And that's challenging for me because as a football player or ex-football player, somebody who loves this game, you got to understand mismatches. And mismatches are calls and positions play. So when you get the very best tight end, probably in college football, he's up there in the top ilk of the top 10, top 5 tight ends all time in freaking NCAA history. This dude is going to tear up this NFL. And then when you pairing him up with a guy like Michael Mayer, who we just drafted last season out of Notre Dame, who's really, I'm almost calling him, I call him G2P2. He goes to the post part 2. You know what I mean? He almost the exact same build and nature as our original Dave Casper.
I said the same thing. I saw shades of Dave Casper in this
literally,
game.
Bro. Literally. And it's like people are just ignoring this crap because they're listening to this regurgitated media that the Raiders didn't do a good job. Well, what I saw the Raiders did was we took the very best tight end in the draft instead of taking the maybe 5th or 6th best quarterback, even if that's a true, because they still got to be vetted and find out what the hell they can do. But not only that, in picking this tight end, we got a roving player who you don't know where he's going to line up. You can line him up in the backfield, out wide, in the slot, in line. You can make up positions for this dude. He's literally like an old school throwback H-back. But we got 2 of them now, Michael Mayer as well. So then you got Jacoby Meyer, you pairing him up with Devontae Adams, and you don't even know what we're coming out the backfield with. Everybody knows Zeus is going to get to the hard toe to the rock, but nobody knows what we have in Mr. Lobby. We still got veteran backs in back there that know how to shred it. That man, defenses are not going to know how to defend us. And all you have to do is have a culpable quarterback. And if you're trying to tell me that Aiden O'Connell, with everything that kid had to battle through to get to this space in his life, he ain't able to man this damn team up to the playoffs, they can kiss my entire ass. I'm not falling for that, man. Sorry, I got a little long-winded. It makes me upset that won't nobody go all in, well, other than us, and really support our quarterback. Aiden O'Connell is our drafted quarterback. Damn that 4th round crap. That dude is here to win.
I went as far when we were talking about all this shit leading up to the draft and going and free agency before free agency started. And, my number 1 quarterback in free agency I wanted to get was Kirk Cousins, right? And unfortunately, the Falcons, fucked that up by tampering and turn around and find his ass.
To put it mildly.
I'll put it out there. They straight got picks taken away because they tampered. They talked to him way too soon, so nobody had a chance at Kirk Cousins. Now, my second choice was Gardner Minshew. Now, and I said from the get-go, you go back to any of our past shows, I like Gardner Minshew. I thought Gardner Minshew could come in and challenge Aiden O'Connell. Now, if Minshew won it, I thought O'Connell would do good sitting behind him. They're similar quarterbacks. What one lacks, the other one has. Minshew does not have the accuracy or the deep ball, and of course he's going to throw a deep ball right there, like Aiden O'Connell. But yet O'Connell, his gripe from a lot of people, he wasn't mobile enough. Yet here you see Minshew scrambling. So they can teach and learn from each other. So whoever wins, they're similar. It'd be a good battle. So I got the QB that we were wanting to, and we have been strictly Aiden O'Connell fans. I know everyone goes to those 3 fucking games. 3 games out of 10 that he started. Okay? You got the fucking Minnesota game. That was a defensive game. Okay?
And a coaching dilemma.
Then they go to the KC game. He didn't complete a pass in 3 quarters. They changed, after the first quarter, they changed the game plan to a run game and let the defense do it. He did what his coach told him to do. Then they want to go to the damn McDaniels basically screwing him and, not blocking Khalil Mack and all that other shit. Okay, that's 3 games. We'll say he had 3 bad games. You show me any quarterback that doesn't have bad games in a regular season, and I'll
They froze him in the
asylum have bad fucking games. What about the 6 other games that he played good? The last 4, he took care of the ball. He was moving around a little bit more, but he took care of the ball. He didn't throw an interception. He didn't fumble. The last 5 games, he had the 1 interception. Other than that, he was taking care of the ball. He was throwing the ball. He was moving the ball. He was doing what was asked of him. Okay, we missed the playoffs by 1 game. Hell, Gardner Minshew missed the playoffs by 1 fucking game. We have quarterbacks. O'Connell was thrown into a shitty situation. He had no offensive coordinator, an interim head coach who never coached. His coordinator never fucking, was a coordinator before, and he was a rookie.
And the previous head coach literally tried to sabotage him. We can't dismiss that.
Oh, that was that Chargers game.
I mean, from day one, when you put him in Derek Carr's number, he was literally trying to brain fuck that kid.
So I felt he did an admirable job for the position he was put in.
Yep.
Now he's coming. Now he took a very short vacation, come back, and he was one of the, what they say, 30-something, 40-something players that were constantly at the headquarters doing what he needs to train. He's been working on his mobility. What did AP say he wanted him to do? He wanted him to be more vocal. What'd you hear from Max Crosby? What'd you hear from Devontae Adams? What'd you hear from other players? He's being vocal. He's talking shit to Max Crosby. He's in there commanding the huddle. He's doing everything his coach is asking of him and improving his game. That's all you want from a quarterback, right? Is to improve your game. As Max Crosby put it, every day, that extra 1%. Sounds like O'Connell put a little more than that 1% in there during this offseason.
I want to sorry, I don't want to cut you off here. I get all fired up talking about AOC, man. Aiden O'Connell, and I firmly believe this. I'm going to double down on everything you just said right there, Asylum, because I don't believe that the diehard Raider fans that really want to get behind this kid, I think they're dismissing the true element of building a football team and its development. With everything that kid has gone through, he's been forged in the fire. This dude is iron sharpens iron right now. People take that Bible term and turn it into a little quick cliche because they don't even really understand what that means. As iron sharpens iron is a violent process. Sparks and flames and heat and, cuts. And, it takes a lot of work to sharpen your edges to be a true NFL quarterback. And Aiden O'Connell made up his mind that he was going to be one, and he got his opportunity being drafted as our 4th round pick. Now, nobody really wanted to expect anything out of him, but look how much he's done. And people summarily dismiss him. They dismiss him and his talent. They dismiss the man that he is. They dismiss his person. But then they dismiss the fact that you brought up first, the fact that we brought in a cat like Gardner Minshew, a legitimate quarterback. Competition is being created in the Raiders organization, one of which we haven't seen the likes of in probably a good 2 decades. We didn't see nothing close to that with Derek Carr here. Everybody knows that. But every other quarterback that was brought in here was a special case. Derek Carr was an anomaly. He did the best that he could in the situation, and I won't poo-poo what he's done for us. But this is our first pure, germane quarterback competition that could lead us into having a true NFL quarterback. Aiden O'Connell literally beat out Gardner Minshew to get this competition, and we walk into the season with Gardner Minshew healthy as our true backup. We a dangerous fucking team. And people missing out on that because they busy poo-pooing Aiden O'Connell for not being fucking Michael Vick. You don't have to run the ball all over the damn place. All you got to do is move the pocket when it's necessary. He was asked and he was directed to stand his ass in the pocket like a statue last year and get the shit beat out of him. Why the fuck they told him to do that we don't know, but he did what he was asked to do. So I'm not going to look down on Aiden O'Connell for shit. Whatever the hell his record was is what it was. I'm looking at his record this year. All of that shit is the past. You know,
I'm gonna
it's,
add.
time to
I'm
get
gonna
that
add
shit,
to
time to rip that Band-Aid off, man. Let that scab heal a little bit and get back into the fucking fracas. Because, people drabbing on the wrong shit. This team, we got a badass team. They busy poo-pooing this motherfucker. We could end up in the damn Super Bowl.
Well, I'm going to add two things to that real quick. Sorry, Savage. Did you want to say something first? I'll let you know.
No, I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
No, I want to add to that because I know there's people out there and they have legitimate things to say. Like Matt Marinovich. I've heard him say it on a bunch of shows. He's a big Minshew guy, which is fine. Minshew, has done a lot. He's proven that he could, he's been except for Jacksonville where he did start, he's been a backup, a career backup. Minshew has talent. I'm not taking away anything from Minshew. And, I don't want to go. But the one thing that I keep trying to, I go back and forth with Marinovich on is what's the one thing that AOC has above Minshew?
He was drafted Raider.
No.
That's all I need.
He already has.
That's our kid. I protect our kids, man.
He already has familiarity with the players that's on his team.
Exactly. He had with Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers. He already has that little bit of familiarity, which benefits him. Yes, mobility. We have to wait until preseason to see it. Okay, but yet go back to his college tape. Okay, you see mobility there. Like you said, people mistake a mobile quarterback with a running
scrambling quarterback.
There's a difference. A mobile quarterback, like you said, moves in the pocket, moves out of the pocket to extend the play and get the ball going. If they want a running quarterback, they say, I want a running quarterback. I want a Lamar Jackson. I want a Patrick Mahomes. Those are running quarterbacks. And actually, Patrick Mahomes, when he was a running quarterback, wasn't that good. When he started becoming a mobile quarterback and going, that's when Patrick Mahomes blew up.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is a unicorn. He can't really even be compared. In my opinion, he shouldn't be so easily compared in these quarterback conversations. He's a cut above, and it needs to be acknowledged.
And is ready. Well, another
that's right. I'm gonna bring this shit on now.
another knock on the Raiders' acquisitions in the coaching is with Getsy.
And why they keep fucking with Getsy? All right, go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
Because they said that his offense in Chicago, especially with Justin Fields, that it didn't really do too much. Justin Fields didn't know what he was supposed to be doing. So they're assuming that Getsy, because we did have what's his name? Kingsbury in the building for like 8 hours, and then he decided to go to Washington. People feel like we settled with Getsy. That his offense is not really going to do much with these quarterbacks. How you feel about that, Raider man?
It pisses me off that Getsy has to just eat this shit. Like he's so much second fiddle to Kingsbury. And I'm not taking a shot at Kingsbury at all, because I tried to be a little excited with the prospect of him coming in and all that. Everybody's pushing, we need a new offense. Oh, we out of date, all this shit. And you get caught up in the hoopla, all this bullshit fucking narrative and the minutia of regurgitated commentary from all of these multimedia locations. There's so many different podcasts, so many different outlets. Everybody's saying the exact same thing. And I don't believe that people are actually watching what the fuck they're talking about. A guy like Luke Getsy is coming into the Raiders. Every single person has been brought into the Raiders under the Coach AP interim to now Coach era has a brand new fucking lease on life. I'm talking about people being encouraged to be their best self, being encouraged to be different than what people are normally used to seeing from them. Come out the box. Let's go Raider with this thing. And every single person has stepped up to the fucking play. Now, Getsy, his first chance was to come under Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy know what the fuck he doing. That dude, he can get all the shit that he wants, but you can't never discredit that man's football knowledge and what he's done in this league. And Getsy is just now coming into what you would call a coach's prime. Now he has his opportunity. He has an opportunity to put his fucking signature, his imprint on a team. Chicago was, that's fucking Chicago, man. They didn't even know what the fuck they wanted to do. I hate to keep kicking Justin Fields down. Maybe he should be better, but that don't necessarily mean that's a problem of Getsy. They were doing what they had with what they had, and that shit didn't work in Chicago. Getsy is with a balling ass team over here in Vegas with a brand new attitude and a coach that believe in him wholeheartedly. So I'm looking like Aiden O'Connell, Luke Getsy, all these people that people try to undercut and say, oh, this ain't this and this ain't that. And you're going to have to prove that bullshit to me. I'm taking them bets all day long and twice on Sundays. I believe in Luke Getsy.
Oh, I'll add to that. Okay, like you said coaches under AP, right? We'll go straight to our defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, right? Look at the defense before with McDaniels, and then look at it when AP came in and said, you know what, this is your defense, do your thing. All of a sudden, they were the top defense in the NFL. Once he Same players, exactly. But he was able to do his thing. And Getsy's going to be able to do his thing. Now, I'll go this far. There's two aspects in this whole thing with Getsy and Chicago. One was the head coach in Chicago.
Exactly.
I knew his name now. I'm fucking drawing a blank. But
Eberflus. I remember from listening to Rich Eisen. I got to shout out Rich Eisen on that one.
Yeah,
so
I got
it. Controlling shit, and I'm sure he kind of controlled what Getsy could do. Second of all, and you and me had this conversation about Field and why I felt Field was not a fit for the Raiders. Okay, Getsy's offense is a hybrid West Coast offense. Okay, Fields is not a West Coast offense kind of quarterback. A West Coast offense is stand in the pocket, extend the play, throw the ball. Fields wants to run. Fields is a running quarterback, which is not conducive to the West Coast offense, which is run the ball and throw what when you throw the ball, you take what you can and you go deep when you can.
Well, quick pin in that, Asylum. Quick pin in that about the West Coast offense. Because it's actually more of a quick strike, almost dink and dunk, which is why King Al hated it. But the problem with Fields was he wasn't reading those quick hits. And so he was what they call holding the ball too long, and that created those situations where he needed to run because he had to get himself out of shit that he got himself in. We dealing with Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell is a lot, I don't want to say smarter because I don't know Justin Fields, and it's not like a knock at his intellect. But I'm saying as far as being a standard quarterback, Aiden O'Connell don't have all that athleticism to fall back on. So he's put his energy into being a quarterback. It's about reads, it's about timing, it's about precision, and it's about understanding the concepts and the philosophies of what the concept of what the offense is doing. Fields is just like, fuck it, get out there, take this ball and go play.
O'Connell said it. He based his game after Tom Brady. What kind of quarterback is Tom Brady? Stand in the pocket, read what you got, throw the open receiver.
A quarterback. We got a quarterback, and motherfuckers don't want that. Like, what do we want?
I'm not Fields, but the reason he hold on to the ball too long is because he's got two modes: run and throw deep.
He's trying to figure out which one he want to do.
Which one he want to do? So he holds on to it, and that's why he wasn't. He's not necessarily fit for the Raiders.
Exactly. No knock on him, but we got a quarterback. We don't need that.
And I think Minshew is a great backup and somebody who can teach O'Connell what he don't know for the NFL. And that's one thing I like. What I've heard in this offseason is they've been working together. They're in competition, yet they walk up and say,
yes.
What did you see there? Why did you do that? Oh, you didn't see this? This is what I saw. They're still trying to help each other out. They're helping each other to beat each other is what they're doing.
And that's what true competition is. True competition mean, motherfucker, I could actually take your job. Gardner Minshew is, and this is me not knowing Gardner Minshew, but from his pattern of his NFL career that he's shown, that dude is a consummate professional. People blow him off because he seems to be like aloof and he's got this easygoing personality. He give off the surfer guy bribe and all that shit. Why in the fuck not? He a grown man. He living his best life right now. Go on Gardner Minshew. But what that dude is he a fucking high-tone competitor when you get between them lines, and he's somebody that studies the game and know what the fuck he's doing. So he's reliable. He wants to start. And damn it, I'm here to beat your ass out. But if you beat me out, I'm going to be your biggest fucking supporter, and I'm going to give you all the game that I got. Aiden O'Connell's in the very best position because as a team, realistically, we want Aiden O'Connell to be our starter. We want that dude to come out the box like, like fucking G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, ready to get down on any motherfucking thing moving. And if that happens, then we have an opportunity of locking up a fucking quarterback on a 5th-year option, something we haven't had an opportunity to do in decades. We got an opportunity to have a team built around this kid that will last. We can have our own run. We can start pushing, not only push KC out of the fucking #1 spot of our division, but get on our own perennial Super Bowl run. Why can't we do 2? That kind of shit, man. This myopic ass bullshit new Raider fan mentality is fucking killing me. And then they turn around and say, oh, there's only one nation. Look, y'all killing us. Raider Nation's a hell of a lot stronger than this, man. It's real football being done out there, and y'all missing it with y'all bullshit commentary. Wake the fuck up.
Just to let you know, Aiden O'Connell doesn't have a 5th-year option. That's only for first-round draft picks.
Oh, that's right. He's a 4th-rounder, see? And that's even more so an incentive to get this kid up and moving fast. Because, without having that 4th-year option, he can still play himself into the solidified true leader, the true team captain and franchise quarterback of this organization. People keep cutting that shit out from him. Oh, he is not this. He's not elite. You don't know what the fuck he is. He ain't had the opportunity to be nothing yet. These are the same motherfuckers that poo-poo they fucking kids because they don't do everything that they want them to do. And they keep talking all that shit and they wonder why their kids hate them. Shut the fuck up. Especially people that can't do what they do. Like, how do you get so entitled to where you can talk about a grown-ass man that's doing something that you're getting paid? More money than you get paid to talk about him, and you can't even do what the fuck he do. And you cutting him down. There's no compliments nowhere, none of that shit. My quarterback is going to be the best quarterback in the AFC West this year. Put Raider Man name on that. I think he can be better than Justin Herbert with all Justin Herbert's talent. Because Justin Herbert's team got to come together, and they got to figure out what they want to do. So he might be better athletically and all these intangibles and God's given talent and all that shit. But if Aiden O'Connell record is better and he happens to throw for more yards, who's the better quarterback? It all changes on the dime. Get this kid his fucking just due, man. Give him his opportunity. He's our quarterback. I stumped the Schwab with that one. But I tell you, man, at least we come so far from last year. Getting that dead money off with the Brian Hoyer shit and the Jimmy Garoppolo shit. You know what I mean? Taking that flyer with everything was going on with that season and all that shit, man. Aiden O'Connell could have folded up, like a cheap suit. And he didn't. He stood up to the fight. And when Coach AP got called on the mat, he didn't beg that dude to stand up and take that job. He looked to a man and said, look, you ready to ride? And that motherfucker jumped in the car and cocked his shit and got to bussing. And I got all respect for that. I know it's a horrible analogy, but, the truth of the matter is, you going to ride, man, you got to ride. And that motherfucker didn't ask no questions. He walked through the fire. He earned his opportunity. Coach said he's getting it. I don't know why people keep skirting that shit, keep trying to put Gardner Minshew in the #1 spot and talking. Coach said Aiden O'Connell has earned the first snap, period. Now, I'm looking for him to honor that. And I'm putting every bit of energy I have as a Raider fan behind my quarterback and believing on him that he can make this shit do what it do.
And, it's funny because when we were going into the second year of McDaniels, they kept telling us, the media, oh, you just got to trust the process. McDaniels, he got all these rings with Brady and the Patriots. And here comes Garoppolo, who's won games and took the Niners to the Super Bowl. And he's done this and he's done that. And we're like, no.
And that's already media feeding us that bullshit.
Yes, you know who else took the Niners to the Super Bowl? Colin Kaepernick. Sorry.
You know who took the Browns to the Super Bowl? I did, because I had a whole bunch of Marilacs in the back. Anyways.
Take 10% off of that, you big dummy.
The only Browns that went to the Super Bowl, they were called the Ravens. Anyways.
Ouch. Too soon?
That's a double sting. That's a zinger.
Oh. But it's funny how they kept saying that. Oh, well, McDaniels, trust McDaniels. He's a smart guy, and he probably was a smart guy. But we found out in one of Hondo's videos that once he got hired, he was afraid to get fired, and he played. Well, not played, but he coached to not lose instead of coaching. Like just a coach. And it's funny how now when we have AP who's out there just coaching, like, I'm just going to coach. I'm going to teach my guys and whatever. And the media wants to knock him down saying, well, he only has 2 years of NFL experience, NFL experience, period. And they don't give AP his dues, his props, because he was just some linebackers coach halfway through his second year. And now he's a head coach.
I want to shut that shit up so bad. I wish I could hear some of these people in the fucking eye with a dart. And if they call my coach a rah-rah coach one more motherfucking time. No.
Hold on. But I got something for the rah-rah coaches.
Rah-rah coach.
Look at Dan Campbell. 1 game away from the fucking Super Bowl. Rah-rah coach.
Rah-rah.
Mark Murray. Fucking lost in the divisional round. Another rah-rah coach. But
with the rookie quarterback. With the rookie quarterback. On top of it all, with the rookie quarterback. And yet, you want to call Antonio Pierce a rah-rah coach, but yet he got in players' ass. And I know you don't like it when we talk about this kind of shit going, but when it came to the Marcus Peters, he told him, I'm not going to put up with you playing the game this way. And he continued to play the game that way, and he took him out of the game.
Next thing smoking. And right after the game, he's on the next thing smoking.
Well, and the reason for that, I think, had to do with that encounter on the sidelines. I think Marcus Peters said something on the sidelines, and he said, I don't need to put up with this shit.
Yeah.
And,
the ironic timing of that also was right around because Jack Jones was being brought into the fold in that. I think that's actually what got him his flyer, but Coach AP had almost the exact same conversation with Jack. And Jack ended up making it where Marcus Peters ended up flaming out. It could just be the age and experience. Maybe it was just time for Marcus Peters to go. I'm not shitting on his career. He came in and did a few things. He just was too old to do anything that we needed him to do. So that's just, hey, it's just the truth. And if he pop up on somebody else's team and pull a Randy Moss, I'd be pissed off. but I'm not expecting that out of Marcus Peters.
I don't see that one happening.
But my point is, it take a real coach to walk through the fire like that with players. No rah-rah coach is going to ever be able to do that. That's called fellowship. That's called camaraderie. That's called trust.
He put his job on the line for Jack Jones. He said, bring him in, and if he don't work out, you can fire us both.
Right. Because we ain't pumping. Well, they used to have a term, I don't know if it's PC enough to use, but he ain't pumping no fear over here. I say it like that.
So for those that are saying, but, we could have had Jim Harbaugh. Look what he's done.
Jim Harbaugh.
And he also has a national championship. Look what he did for the 49ers. Now he's in our division with a whole bunch of, where's the graphic at? With a whole bunch of experienced coaches. And we have AP who's only have 2 years of NFL experience. Like, how are we supposed to compete with these other people in our division?
I'm glad you're doing it in that tone. We need one of them little bitty ass violins.
How could he survive? How could he?
You want some cheese with that wine?
Hey man. And while you got the graphic up, let's take let's take a step back and kind of look at this. Now, I feel like we're lucky in this scenario looking at all these coaches. Of course, I respect Coach Andy Reid. There's nothing that we can say to discount anything that man has done. But it's a hell of a lot harder to stay on top than it is to get on top. And people push this, the Chiefs could be 3-peat and whatever, like it's just a fucking walk in the park. Like that's just on the schedule. Like that's just something to do. They are the hunted. They got the fucking pressure and they still trying to build their fucking roster. They don't really have their shit together. Now let's step over to Denver. Fuck Denver, period. You know what I mean? God bless Sean Payton and all the rest of the shit that he's been able to do for his career and all that. But we ain't selling we ain't buying no wolf tickets over here. It's a reason that we own them son of a bitches for the last 4 seasons straight. And it's a reason why we're going to sweep their ass again this season. They got a serious rebuild at hand. And I hope they don't get Bo Nix killed in the process. When you step over to fucking LA with Harbaugh, you know, everything that man has done and accomplished in this league. And he's got so much in football. He's done so much coming from a football family, you know, under Jack and all the rest of that stuff. His whole upbringing, being a quarterback, you know, Pro Bowl caliber quarterback and all that shit. In some hard situations, you know, putting Indianapolis out there, rolling through the mud with fucking Chicago. Everything that dude did was bona fide, but it's all grown stale for a reason. And I don't expect it to get no fresh, you know, no fresh bid in this shit. We're not scared of this dude. He's not coming in there showing us nothing. And his team ain't better than ours. That's the other part of it that really makes me sway my vote towards us. I might sound biased. Yeah, I'm Raider man. I'm going to be all this and all that shit. But literally tell me what makes any one of those fucking situations gives you fear and make you feel like we not ready and we not culpable and capable of going to that motherfucker and damn near sweep our division. That's including the Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs.
Am I speaking for me or am I speaking like I'm the fucking media? Because I got the media answer. The media answer is easy. The media is going to say, he's a new coach. He don't know what he's doing. Harbaugh's got, you know, all this. He just won a championship in college. But yet, look at Harbaugh. Every place he's been run out because he fucking turns around and is a hard ass.
Chiefs are a train wreck right now. You're right, Anna.
They stopped wanting to play for him. You know, he's already started it, you know, there in LA. He's taking.
You heard Denzel Perryman said it with the first press conference from Denzel Perryman. They were like, "Yeah, you just talked to Harbaugh. What'd you think?" Like, yeah, that motherfucker weird, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens.
He's done taking the music out of practice. You think he's going to let the players smoke cigars in the locker room, be themselves and shit like that? No, he wants total control.
You know what? I want to talk about that real quick. Because I keep hearing comments about this shit with the whole cigars in the locker room. And the tone of it, and I guess what gives me pause or what kind of grinds my gears, if you will, is all of these motherfucking people that say these kind of comments like players don't have a right to, whether it be smoke a cigar and it's their fucking space. The locker room is the most sacred fucking space to any athlete. And these media motherfuckers are getting privilege. It's a privilege to get credentials to go in there. You don't own shit. You don't run shit but your motherfucking mouth. And for people that don't even get a chance to go in these rooms and be sitting on the fucking microphone, oh, you little cigar parties and all that shit, that sounds so fucking elitist, man. That sounds like a motherfucker that believe that they are owner. You know, that's these motherfuckers, they get this pseudo ownership because maybe they're a season ticket holder or, you know, I go to all these games, I'm getting known, all this kind of shit. I'm telling you, it's fucking up Raider narrative. It's fucking up the media. And I believe that that's kind of like the catalyst to why that cesspool in the other side, I don't want to throw out whatever their name is, but that's why people get off on those sites like that with that bullshit. Because if somebody that's supposed to be accredited can get on and say something so asinine, what's holding the standard for the people that's going to retort? You threw bullshit out there. What do you expect them back? And that's so diminishing to these grown men. I mean, in the old days, people always brag, oh, yeah, he should smoke marbles and Winston Lights and all this old shit. That shit was cute, you know, and a little fodder. These was grown men living their lives. That's how they got down. So if Max Crosby, the fucking team leader, you know, Coach AP in a brand new situation, all right, team leader, what you want to do for your squad? What you want your squad to do? And Max just said, fuck it. He pulled out a cigar and fired up. And then somebody else pulled out a cigar and fire up. This ain't kindergarten class. You don't diminish these motherfuckers like they're a bunch of kids. That's what they wanted to do. They didn't get to do nothing. They earned the right to do what the fuck they doing. That's the Raider way.
Crosby bought the cigars for everybody.
Man, see my point? This is what we doing. My team get down like this. We all let nuts hang. Sorry, Anna, but that's how we get down.
Well, that's like the old school Raiders. Back in the day, all they talk about is, oh, you got players riding in the horses and all they do is party, this and that. But Matt Millen had said each team that he played on, they were hard workers. They were hard workers. And yeah, you had, like back in the day, you had Tom Flores, who was, you know, he was a quiet person, like he wasn't out loud and everything like John Madden was previously. But they all had a respect for him, and they knew to work hard when they had to, and when they had to blow off steam, they did it in their own way, and that's what it was in that locker room after they beat the Jets first, right? Because I know it was the two New York teams. When they beat the Jets in AP's first game as interim head coach, those cigars.
No, wasn't it the Giants?
Was it the Giants or the Jets? I know it was a home game against the New York team.
They was back to back. I know that.
Yeah, so we're gonna say it was a New York team at home, and the cigar. It was more of a symbolization of we can breathe now. We can be ourselves now. We can just relax, and that's what it was. But the media took it as, look at these guys celebrating like they won a Super Bowl or something. Like this mediocre game against a team that wasn't that good. They're over celebrating against a team that wasn't that good and all that and whatever, but that wasn't the case. It was just, we can be ourselves, and look what happened when we were ourselves. We can make plays, and that's one thing John Madden said a long time ago. You can't make these players, like put them in a line and whatever. You got to let these players be themselves. Let them be their own artistry. Let them do their own thing, because these are pro athletes. They got here, they're here for a reason.
And that's why I keep going into with Raider based media coverage, and the fact that there's no real Raider fans doing our media coverage. That's a problem, because we've grown through all of these things with our team. We understand this. So it gets lost in translation from these outsiders that's coming in trying to depict the Raider way or whatever. You're not Raider. It's not going to make no sense to you. You know what I mean? To me, the cigars in the locker room thing with Max and what he chose to do with his squad is akin to any grown man going to your 9 to 5 or whatever, since everybody want to act like they couch GMs. You go to your 9 to 5, you do yourself what you call a good job, and then you go get your, let's say, Queso Modelo's, since we know that's a black hole brand, and you go home, you take you 2 or 3 pops and have you a couple of Marlboros or whatever, and somebody keep picking it. Oh man, he got our work. He in there drinking his beers and you know what I'm saying? Like who are you? And why won't that narrative die?
I am a Raiders fan.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the whole point. That's exactly why that's in the freaking oath. This is supposed to be for us, by us, about us. And they ripped it out of us. And it's just like they propagating this crap the way that they want to do it, and it don't even sound right. And so now we got opportunity to celebrate all of this crap. We done exercised the demon. We done did a complete exorcism. You know what I'm saying? We done made the bastard turn around 3 times by the head and throw up green spit. And now we got a way that we're going. We're molding into a team. We're literally gelling. And we got all this stupid so-called Raider commentary. So dry, so detached. Just like, oh yeah, well, we got credentials. We out here in their face. But you don't obviously know shit about football. Or you just don't care about the Raiders. You don't give a damn, obviously, about the way the Raider fans feel, because it's so misguided. It's so short-sighted. I'm telling you, man, we need we've been throwing around ideas. I'm smelling a strong segment. Who the fuck are they?
And that's the thing. He said, you got the media and they want to praise like it just seems like every time the Raiders try to do something, and I know they're probably going back, going from the last 20 plus years until our last Super Bowl appearance in 2002, our last season where we had a winning playoff, we had a winning playoff game. And they want to just basically keep beating us like, no, you're the Raiders and you suck. Remember, you're the Raiders and you suck. Remember, you're the Raiders and you suck. You did it for 20 years and you suck. You're not going to be better than the Chiefs. You're not going to be better than the Chargers. And that's what it seems like they want to keep beating on us, because, like they say, there are 31 other teams and none of the Raiders. And they don't want the Raiders to come up, because once the Raiders come up, that's when we take over. They don't want the Raiders to be up there, in the playoffs, competing ever since Al Davis fighting with I'm forgetting his name. Pete Rozelle and Paul Tagliabue. They don't want the Raiders to come up, and it just seems like every time something good happens, they always try to find a way to knock us down. We're finally on a positive tilt. They use
Hey,
they
you
use
need to
those
put
dudes.
a index card in his hand. Put an index card on his right hand.
In that hand?
Nice. Hey, I just saw a comment in the chat from Elise, and that was a great comment. You know, it goes back to knowing culture, knowing history, and these fans aren't getting it. You know, the way the way they deserve it. You know, there was a way that was set up to be able to pipeline this history in, a way to bring in Raider culture. That's what the Raider Oath was created for. You know, we were growing Raider fan culture in the midst of our losing seasons. You know, when the team was barely even eke out 4 wins in the season, you know, it was sketchy. We was going to go 3-13 or not. You know, Raider Nation was growing. The black
Yeah.
hole was pushing, and we were teaching our fans what the real deal about being a Raider fan was all about. The history is what fueled all of that. That's what keep
And,
all our players relevant. That's why our players like to be with us. That's why they feel like we're a part of the team. And it's always been that way. There's a new, I guess, corporate mode that's changing that. And it's felt. It's felt widespread. And I believe that it can easily be cured by putting true Raiders in our media contentions. Because we're not getting the feel that we deserve. Our team's not getting it. They almost fell out of place. When you hear the interviews from Max Crosby, from Coach AP, you will swear that they were the founding fathers of our organization. You know, Max at least was drafted. Well, he was a 4th rounder as well. You know what I mean? But
Oakland Raider.
some people have it, some people don't. You either Raider or you ain't. But how you push somebody that ain't Raider into a space that's all Raider is a travesty. That's a crime, and it should be punishable, almost by death. You know what I'm saying? Because Raider fans deserve so much more. We walk through this fire. These people don't even know how to talk to us. They don't give a damn about us,
They're
but they
scared.
think they control our voices. And they're doing their best to control our opinions, and that's why the media coverage is so bad. They only giving us what they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about our team.
They're scared. They don't want the riffraff. You know, guys like Raider Rob Howard, you know, who was on the radio a lot back in the 90s. You know, when the Raiders came back in the late 90s, going into the 2000s, you know, they don't want that loud, rowdy voice because that's scary. We don't want that.
No, but see, they do. They just want to control it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They want all that. That's why they keep imploring us, hey, call in. Hey, support our show. Hey, because they want that. They will love all day long for Raider Man to call each and every show they have and holler and scream and do the Raider Oath and all that stuff so they can say, oh, look, I got him under my thumb too.
But look what happened to Siegfried and Roy thinking they could control them Tigers. Yeah, someone lost an arm.
Oh, Siegfried. Would you call him Sigmund?
Siegfried and Roy.
Hey, God rest, man. Hey, things got tight.
Yeah, and that's the NFL trying to keep us down. The Red Raider Nation is going to come over and take over. And shout out to Elise.
I wish somebody in our organization to stand up and say, hey, Raiders don't run like that. We got to do it Raider way. You know, as soon as they make up their mind, it'll take off. I know I'm available. I love to do it. I try my best to push myself in there.
We got that with AP right now.
Right. Yeah. We got that. They want that. He will love. I'm telling you, if we showed up and we be like, Coach AP, we got you. We're like, oh, man, I do one Raider Oath in front of Coach AP, man. I'll be doing Raider Oath out there at the stadium for the rest of the year. But, you know, it's people that's doing their best to keep that from happening because they got ulterior plans. And it's unfortunate, but, you know, trouble don't last always.
Yep. And shouts out to Elise. She knows the Raider history because she grew up in it. I know because that is my sister. Oh,
now, shouts out Elise.
Yes.
And you know what? And speaking on Raider history, I want to say this because this is way, way out in front of the train here, and I know it. But I'm challenging all real Raider historical fans. Like, I truly appreciated our teams because, you know, like, we had different degrees of our teams. We had greatness in all 3 teams, all 3 Super Bowl teams, but there were levels to them. And a lot of people feel like, you know, that 83 team could be potentially like, you know, like one of the better teams. You know, some may say that 76 team was the greatest. 80 can push for it, honestly. But I believe that this team, haven't done a single fucking thing other than beat the Chiefs before Christmas or on Christmas or whatever the hell it was we did. Last real accomplishment we had. I believe that this team could legitimately become one of the best Raider teams ever. And all it takes is the process. The process is already underway. Everybody started at 0-0. You know, Coach AP come in, chunking them off one game at a time. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. We had our season preview show, and I don't know, my number ended up, I guess, being the highest, but it wasn't trying to be sensationalist.
You
I
were
wasn't
at
just
13
picking.
and 4.
I'm not just picking off teams. Oh, we can just kick that team ass. We can just kick that team ass. It's not about that. It's about realistically looking at our schedule, gauging our team versus those teams in those time frames. And I believe that this team can come off and do something so special that Raider fans right now, with all this myopic bullshit ass outview and the perception that's being propagated in the social medias, that kind of shit poisons our squad, man. That kind of shit takes effect on our third and fourth string starters. That shit takes effect on some of our rookies that don't really have their confidence and just trying to get their sea legs and trying to figure out what they're supposed to be doing out there. But when you get that spirit of everybody pulling the same rope in the same direction, the way that it used to be at the Coliseum when we wasn't winning yet, you know, remember how that feeling was when we were just so sorry, then all of a sudden Gruden came in, you start feeling that momentum. You know, we started doing the smash and the mosh pit down there in the south end zone. You know, we was changing shit, and you can feel it. It's palpable. You're not going to get that off of these motherfuckers that's not Raider fans out there trying to sell you, hey, Raiders Nation, how y'all doing out there? That shit is killing us, man. And that shit is controlling these fucking waterbread ass narratives that the Raider fans keep throwing out. Because that's not even, they're not even original takes.
Yeah.
Some jackass that's not a Raider fan somewhere to get likes and clicks, saying some shit like that, and you got Raider fans that won't stop saying it, and now they're at a point where they feel like they teaching you something. You can't even get your point out because they're going to repeat what some dumb motherfuckers have said. We're going to find out. You watch this Raider team end up 12-5 or whatever the fuck. How many games we playing this year? 13-6.
You got us going 13-4.
13-4. I'm staying on mine. I really believe that shit.
Savage got us going 12-5. And
I
got
still say 13-4. I believe it.
And I got us going 11-6.
Well, you know what? I'd rather be the team that no one's paying attention to. Yeah, let's just sneak up on you like Jaws. Like Jaws in the water, just sneak up on you and, you know, so.
We the only team that don't have nobody have a book on.
Yeah.
Nobody got a book on us. Nobody got no idea what the fuck they expect from us.
You don't know how O'Connell's going to be in this offense. No one really knows how this offense is going to be with the talent that Getsy has.
People keep trying to swear, but now we're running 12 personnel only because we got these two prominent tight ends. People, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
What if they take Jacoby Myers off the field and spread Brock Bowers out wide? You know what I'm saying? We still running 12 personnel. We got Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers on the field still. What if we put Brock Bowers coming out of the backfield? That's still 12 personnel? Because we got two tight ends on the field? It's like people won't shut the fuck up. It's so limited in football knowledge that, you know, it's like it really what it does is it cramps the true conversation. So Raider fans never really grow. It's hindering, like Elisa was saying, it's hindering being able to get the true culture of our Raiders because they keep propagating all this other bullshit. It's too short-sighted for me, man. We got Devontae Adams on a fucking team.
Yeah.
We are a Super Bowl contender right now, Raiders.
According to the media, we're trading fucking Devontae Adams.
Right. We trading Devontae Adams. We packaging Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go renegotiate. We're going to throw in Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Jacoby, and Aiden O'Connell. and we want, who we after? I don't know. Pick a name. Hell, that shit is asinine.
Only way I'm giving up Crosby is we get 5 first-rounders.
We ain't giving up shit. That's why we ended up with Brock Bowers. And I'm so proud of Tom Telesco. Yes. Coach AP. Yes. Yes. For being man enough to bring in all them former head coaches, man. I'm talking about when he did the double dig and when brought Joe Philbin in, I was like, oh, Coach AP want blood. This dude ain't fucking around, man. He's not playing. He got supreme consultation out there and dudes that know what the fuck he's doing in the places that need to know what the fuck they're doing. Wow. Now we got to do is see game action. We get through training camp healthy. We allow Aiden O'Connell to grow naturally. You know, first 4 games is gonna tell you. It's gonna tell you, and he's gonna get better. But then first 4 games out the block, I can see us, man, smashing out 3-1 and setting this motherfucking place on fire. I might have gone conservative with a 2-2, but I think 3-1 sound more feasible for me.
Yeah,
you gotta score 5-1 in the first 6 games.
I like it. That's about how it feels to me. They starting us off with that bullshit, the propaganda, the Harbaugh brothers first. So you mean our biggest challenge is to go to LA where we always go and dominate against a coach that's coming in and try to figure out what the fuck he gonna do against our team that's been gunning all fucking offseason to go in there and go beat their ass, knowing we gotta go all the way over to fucking Baltimore to go deal with Derrick Henry and whatever the fuck they got coming with this new package. We're not playing with these motherfuckers, man. This is business trips. And we come back home and establish our fucking winning culture at the house. What the fuck is to stop us?
Marshawn Lynch, it's town business.
These motherfuckers, man, trying to make it sound like that's some daunting ass task. Why? Because we got air mileage? Come on, get the fuck out of here. We always get a fucked up schedule. You should see that shit in the paper every fucking year. 620, that's the winning percentage. So we got Raiders got 620, 612, hardest season, hardest schedule in the league, hardest schedule always. So what? What about the 3 times we won the Super Bowl when they were saying that shit?
Yeah, and you know, when you're speaking of you're talking about AP and bringing all the former coaches and players, I feel like we're like the Expendables. Got all these guys with action to form one group, one action movie, The Raiders 2024 season. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh
yeah. Well, with that said, you said earlier about people and just saying things for clicks. Well, we have a new segment because it seems like we always bring new segments because we just want to keep it interesting. I know, you know, everyone, it's a slow news time because the Raiders are on a break right now before they go into training camp in late July, mid-July.
Late July.
So everyone's just trying to find, you know, things to clickbait about. So here's a new segment right here. That one was inspired by, that was Raider Man's idea. We needed a clickbait, like someone fishing, and there you go. All right. Asylum, I'm going to have
Stay out of the Toolies, Raider fans. Don't go to the Toolies.
I'm going to have you, I'm going to play it right here. Asylum, what's going on with this right here?
Oh, all right. We know everyone's been talking lately about the $20,000 tailgate experience that the Raiders have offered. You know, it's a trailer that they converted into a, you know, into a AC. You can see the AC unit right there. You know, thing. Now, everyone wants to talk shit about this. They keep going. There's even, I've seen YouTubers, TikTokers. I mean, everybody coming out about wanting to talk shit. First of all, that's not geared towards us blue collar fans.
Right.
Okay. First of all, if I got $20,000 to spend, I ain't spending it on a tailgate. Because if I'm tailgating with $20,000, it's going to be a hell of a lot better than what you can get out of that. But, you know, that being geared towards the corporate. We all know NFL's going corporate. We know the Raiders, to an extent, they're in Vegas. They have to go corporate. They have to go towards their white collar Las Vegas fans. The businesses and shit like that. That's what that's for. Okay, people want to say it's just a money grab. So fucking what? It's a money grab. They're trying to get money out of the people who can afford that kind of shit.
Right.
My business does shit for a money grab. I guarantee your new job, Raider Man, it does shit for money grab.
Yep.
Saturday's job does shit for money grab. Yeah, they're in the business to make money. So fucking what? You can't afford it. Wipe the fucking tears away. Fucking move on. I guarantee the old school blue collar Raider fans are going to be out there in that hot ass sun, fucking tailgating their way. Now you're going to have the corporate people who, you know, they'll have the 15 people. That's a business saying they're going to go there. You know, they've done that. That's the thing. You think that there's only spending 20 grand on that? No, I guarantee the people doing that, they're spending 50 grand because they're sitting in the goddamn luxury boxes in the stadium when they're done tailgating. This is just their way of tailgating, getting out of the heat. Because I guarantee those motherfuckers are going to be in suits. I don't want to be in that heat in a goddamn suit. No. It's bad enough we're in that heat in a black goddamn jersey, and we're still partying and drinking. I mean, who gives a flying fuck if somebody?
And by the way, we're black.
Yeah, black, not white. Throw game.
No white
black,
Charlie Garner jersey. Fucking fake fading fleet.
I mean, who gives a flying fuck if somebody wants to drop 20 grand? To me, I would have thought of it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only hate I got. I would have thought of that. I'll fucking put 4 or 5 of them trailers out, and you know what? I'll drop it down. I'll give them 10 grand. Fuck
hey, me. Quiet as kept. I put my my producer for my Raider Man for Richmond podcast. We put up a promotion to do a bus trip to Vegas. You know, turn around so we can get people. I can take a whole boatload of people. Then there 50 people to Vegas and back for 20,000.
Yeah,
and we be air conditioned too. I can even plug. I got some ideas. I don't want to give up my stuff. I can get that bus trip going. I can get a full roster, man. Raider Man got to put up 19,000 to match. We can get some kids out to the game. We'll show them how to do the tailgate.
But you know, like I said, who cares? Okay, yeah, they did it. They're trying to go. It's a new thing. It made fucking flop, and they wasted money on all these trailers.
They got a tycoon that can just buy 5 of those motherfuckers and just put his people in them. You know, that's chump change to some of them people. Okay. That's not Raiders though.
I'll go this far. How many Raiders fans? Okay, we'll go back to the Oakland days. Do the 3 of us know that built RVs, that built buses, that built shit, that did the exact same fucking thing that did? And they spent more than 20 grand to do that shit. They did it for the tailgating experience, right?
Did it for 20 years.
You know, I mean, what's the difference? Is it because the Raiders thought of it and they're making money off of it? Or is it, you know, I mean, we have Raider fans who did the exact same shit. I mean, I remember I wanted to do an RV, deck it out, do all this shit, and make it a tailgating spot.
Shouts out to Raider Ron who did that.
You know, I mean,
I used to tailgate with somebody that did that.
You know, we all know somebody who did it. So stop your fucking bitching and crying. Stop making these fucking videos talking about, you know, people go watch you get your dick sucked and whatever. You know, who gives a flying fuck?
Get him asylum, get him.
You know,
shouts out to Biria.
You know, if they want to go out there and you know broadcast that they're getting their dick sucked doing cokes off of strippers' asses, so fucking be it. That's their prerogative. That's being a Raiders fan, right? We don't give a fuck what people think.
You know what it reminds me of, this whole trailer thing? It reminds me of the first Jurassic Park movie. Come on into this trailer and see how these wild people tailgate in the heat. We're going to watch them take down that lamb. Oh my God, are they really going to cook that lamb? Oh my God. And then you see blood on the screen. Ah! You know, for $20,000, you can go right in the middle of Raider Nation and you can experience and be safe. Or you might think, because look what happened to Mark Davis up in L.A. when McDaniels was still over there. I think it was in L.A. when McDaniels was still coaching, and they climbed the walls. Fire McDaniels! Fire McDaniels! Fire McDaniels! Hey man, smart up, man! Smart up! So, if you want to experience the Jurassic Park type venue and come and see how us wild Raider fans go do it at a tailgate party in the heat, go and get yourself $20,000.
It's the Raider-Jurassic Park experience.
The Raider-Jurassic Park.
That's really sad though, because you know what? It's almost like as we are having this conversation, it's dawning on me
wait a minute,
just how much.
That's how old school my sister is. Remember that?
Yeah, I see her throwing the dummy around. I'm going to bring that. I got a little short snippet. I'm going to throw that video up so you throw that video up there on your intro.
To Hard Hat Harry right there.
Hard Hat Harry. Shouts out, man. He let me take over the dummy after he got his arm broke. He got that wrist broke over there in England that night. That took the whole black hole to a whole new thing. See, his stories, man, there's so much tradition in the building and the lives of the people who actually made this go. And I believe that's the biggest travesty, if you will, that's happening with the whole Raider Nation project or whatever they call it that's happening in Vegas. They're trying to cut out the originators of the brand. You can't just pick that up and just start doing it. That's why that stuff doesn't work. Like I said, friends, we were talking about the whole tailgate experience thing. Okay, if you were to just pull a hardcore Raider fan, let's use Raider Man for example here. Say, Raider Man, I'm a tycoon. I got $20,000. What would you do to create the ultimate tailgate experience here in hot ass Las Vegas? That'd be such the easiest thing. You know how many different, okay, we may not have always had Vegas temperatures in the Bay Area, but we had plenty of super hot fucking days.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the same remedies will work the same ways. You know, the precautions, the communication, the care for one another. What they're doing is they're taking our part of our identity away from us. Just like what you're touching on, Asylum. They want to make it where we feel bad that we can't afford to come and hang out with them. But they're trying to use us to propagate the fucking team.
We have to embrace the corporate side that the NFL has gone. The Raiders are part of it. I mean, if it wasn't for the corporate side, the Raiders wouldn't have the money that they have now to have that beautiful stadium, to bring in the likes of Christian Wilkins and shit like that, and be able to be viable in today's. We could still have our old school hardcore values, but we have to embrace the corporate side. And what is that fucking trailer? That's the corporate side. We just have to embrace it. Me personally, I'll wave at them like they're fucking, monkeys in the goddamn zoo.
You're gonna see more motherfuckers standing right outside passing the joints in.
I mean, I was gonna say it's the same thing of when Al Davis came back to Oakland. He told the Coliseum committee, whatever, I want luxury boxes around the stadium. And they built Mount Davis with the luxury boxes right there in the outfield bleachers of the old Oakland Coliseum. Everyone, all A's fans are all like, man, Al Davis came in and made it ugly. Look what he did to the stadium, and da-da-da-da. And I mean, but because that's where the money is at. That's where the money is at. And if I can try to sell luxury boxes to my Raiders, or in this case, if I can sell luxury tailgate boxes for the Raiders and make money out of it, I mean, that's what Vegas is about, is making money, spending money, making money, losing money. That's what Vegas is all about. And they're just trying to find new ways to bring in more money. That's why the casinos, they want you to keep playing money, keep spending money, keep playing, because maybe you can get a package of tickets to go to a game, and then that'll add to the attendance because the casinos bought the tickets for that. You can say, well, our stadium has too many other fans in, but that's the corporate way.
I mean, there's high rollers everywhere, though. I mean, to me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with making room for high rollers. High rollers make the shit roll and make the mission moves faster. My thing is understanding the tradition of what built the Raiders and why the Raiders were a big draw for Vegas. True, everybody in Vegas didn't want the Raiders. There's a lot of pushback in all kind of different ways because Vegas is such a transient city. There's so many different people that's coming in and out of there. So they got natural people that's been there longer, and then all of a sudden the Raiders pop up and like, oh, well, we got to compete with these motherfuckers now. I get all of that. What I don't get is the complete disenchantment of the origins of what made the fandom great. Why the Raiders are.
That's what we're here for.
That's exactly. And this is why I say that we are the ones that they need to be bringing in to help get this mission going.
It's our job to be at the tailgates. If you could go, I haven't been to one yet. I can't afford to go. But when
that's their problem.
But it is what it is in that aspect. I'll make a game. I'll make games. But it's our job when we're at these tailgates, when we're in the stadium and on this show, to remind everybody where we came from, to remind everybody of our blue collar roots.
And that's the hardest part when they're trying to make it where you can't really afford to get there, because that makes it like that's more than a labor of love, especially in this time of the economic stature of this I don't know if it's just the state of the economy right now, but everybody fucking broke. There's a lot of people out there propagating this whole I'm rich and I'm throwing all this money around shit. I like to believe that a lot of that is just to try to propagate money. It's just to try to get people into this money vacuum. I think it's all bullshit. But what they're doing with our brand over there in Vegas, they should be smart enough to realize that, okay, you can hold the carrot out. You can get the dogs to run faster. But you're going to either blow them dogs' hearts up and kill them and kill your races, or you can realize that you got to change the way you do in the race so that everybody can come and enjoy themselves. And to not have the compassion.
I think that's what this is. I think this is a compromise. That's what I'm trying to say. Is this is for a certain group of fans that can afford to do this kind of shit. Okay, like you said, it's Vegas. We got people who come from around the world, regardless of what the team is that they're rooting for. They're going to come in, and the Whales, they have money to spend. That's what this is for. Yep. It ain't for the people who are keeping the team going, keeping the team afloat because we're there every game. These are for those people who come once every year, once every 2 years, and shit like that, and have money to spend. And I'm okay with that. To the extent
they got to get smart enough to know how to incorporate it all. I hear exactly what you're saying, but what I'm saying is,
I think they're trying.
We should be brought into being able to make that shit the real Raider situation that they're looking for. You can't falsify real Raider fans.
Okay. But look, when they first moved to Vegas, we don't want any costume fans. We don't want that riffraff. How quickly did that change? They have incorporated us. Us.
They didn't want me. They don't want me out there, me and my Raider oath and hollering and screaming and all that shit until shit get boring. And the motherfuckers on the radio, oh, where are you Raider fans at? We wish you would call in. Oh, we don't have no fucking calls because you're killing it. You fucking killing it. Nobody was looking to talk to you motherfuckers. Nobody. It was all about, hey, okay, this Raider man is they put out a few of the most prominent Raider faces out there. And they turned it into a novelty. And now they're fighting to keep that because that shit wears off. Not to mention those individuals get old. You're going to need something new. It's going to have to be something else. The original was supposed to be the brand. How it started, I call it the foundation of fellowship. That has to stay germane for this shit to live. Because once you change up the recipe, you're not selling Black Hole no more. You're not selling Raider Nation no more. And people going to start turning that shit off. So then it become a bad investment. So maybe they getting money hand over fist right now, but anybody that's a real investor and they see that this shit is kind of getting thin, they don't feel that energy on it, motherfuckers will start pulling their shit. It'll happen.
That's like when the Raiders moved back to Oakland and the OMFA. Or was that the OMFA when it came in? The OMFA came in and they wanted you to buy PSLs and this and that, and some folks couldn't afford it. Some folks mortgaged it out or whatever. But you saw that there wasn't a lot of fans in the stands because they couldn't afford it. Games were getting blacked out because they had the cutoff at 1 p.m. on Thursday when everyone gets paid on Friday, which didn't make any sense. So we had to get stuck watching a Niner game on TV because we couldn't watch a Raider game. That's how I started learning football because I had to listen to Greg Papa, and he was very detailed. Him and Tom Flores are very detailed. That's how I learned football. I imagined it when they were doing the radio. And then once I got rid of the PSLs because they realized that it's not selling and it's just say, hey, you can buy season tickets. You can't purchase your seat like how they do now where this is your seat for any other events we have in the stadium. But you can have that seat for the Raiders season, and then you can renew it for the next season. And that's when more fans started coming in because they made it more affordable because they realized that they're not making money trying to steal your money. So maybe it's still in the early years of the stadium where history repeats itself in good ways and in bad ways.
Cycle.
And they're gonna see, okay, maybe we should dial back on trying to bleed our consumers, our customers from all their money because they can only go 4-1 game. Now we don't.
But this, to me, and literally what you guys both just said, and you topped it off right. You just put the whipped cream and the cherry on the salve. It goes right back to what I keep beating this horse. I hope it's not dead. That we are the fans that lived that time. We are the dinosaur. We're the cockroaches that survived that nuclear blast, and we've survived them all and come back with the same energy. Keep that standard of excellence for our Raiders. How do you get that standard of excellence and energy from a motherfucker that's not even a Raider fan? That's the problem with Raider media. Because they have their mind made. They picked out people that, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we got this. And they made their shit outside of what we were doing. But you need us to do your job. Because otherwise you're not even doing Raider Radio. Now, even the shit that they created, that shit ain't even like all of a sudden starting to spread out. Now we don't talk about anything now. We talking about hamburgers and french fries and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's so much Raider shit to talk about. Now they're using this as an excuse, the so-called dead season, dead zone, and all the rest of that kind of shit. It's never dead if you got somebody creating content.
Yeah.
That's the same thing we used to say when they used to try to black out the games on us. They created that whole TV market bullshit, I believe, to hurt the Oakland market. Because just like you said, Sav, nobody up here is getting a check before Friday at 5 o'clock at best. That's how they pay us around here. But the stadium got to be sold out on Thursday by 1 p.m. in the fucking afternoon. Who in their right mind go? We had dudes lining up outside the tailgate at that time.
Yeah.
But them tickets wasn't bought.
No.
I'll be sitting across the street with Grizz, having a couple of shots of Jack or some shit. And we over there talking about, like, you got a ticket yet? My uncle's out there tailgating for days and didn't have a fucking ticket yet. But they put that standard on us that we had to do it. And then the sad part was that they still blacked out those games, and the good majority of those games were still completely filled to capacity in game time because the walk-up was always immaculate. There's always 55,000 motherfuckers in the Coliseum. And my quote then was, Raider Man's big thing then was, they always say, the game is blacked out. It's never blacked out when you at the game. Get your ass up and go to the game.
It's blacked out because we're all there wearing black.
We all wearing black. And, that's the only blackout we know. But it's not like motherfuckers missing nothing because we out there. Yeah. That was the difference. And we went through this whole shake-up then. Remember when we had the tailgate going perfect, low-down band was cracking, we had that whole front side of Section D all filled up. Then they brought in the porta potties and kicked us all back. Yeah. Then they started bringing in the parking guards and breaking up the tailgates. Nope, the line stops here. You go down there. Like, we all fucking together. We literally drove here together from San Diego. Nope, you got to park over there. It's like they always fuck with the fans, but we them cockroaches that still survive and still support and still thrive. I don't see why they don't want to tap into that because that's where your lifeblood is. And you keep paying these motherfuckers to propagate this shit, you're going to kill your brand.
And we still survived and we still prevailed. And maybe with AP being an original Raider, even though he didn't play, he didn't go out there in a Raider uniform, Raider fan, taking over, Raider head coach, leading the way, want to start winning games, saying that Raider way, or how we say it in Oakland, that Raider mystique coming back, that could go and maybe change the narrative or change the mindset. We got to hope, we got to see. But speaking of AP, though, another clickbait everyone's talking about is his...
Do the graphic.
You want to do it again?
Hell yeah. You got to do the graphic for everyone.
We got to do it again. Wait.
You always got to hit the toolies more than once. Hey.
Oh. All right. The next news is, of course, all this positive energy coming from the OTAs and everything. And the NFL just had to find, or not the NFL, but the media just had to find another way to just dump on us. AP is being sued, or AP is being sued by Nissan and Hyundai.
No, he's not being sued.
Well, they want to sue him. They want to get their money back, basically. So AP's wife had to go and file for bankruptcy, and because of Hyundai, and first of all, Hyundai is just a broke version of Honda. Okay, it's the same damn thing. And Nissan, I drive a Nissan, so I'm not going to talk mess about my Nissan. I drive a Nissan, but
I crashed one. I
just spent $3,000 trying to fix. I just realized that my Nissan has 2 catalytic converters and they're both going out. So that I had to spend $3,000 on that just to have my vehicle back. That hurt. But
I want to talk somebody and they come and steal them. It'd be cheaper.
But with that said, everyone is talking about AP and it's a distraction to the team and all this and that. But, another podcaster, Raider D, he had a very
podcast.
He had a good breakdown on what exactly is going on with AP and everything like that. And
we have, just before you do it, hold on. We have permission from Raider D to be able to use this clip.
Yes.
So I don't want nobody trying to go and saying shit and we stole it. No. We have permission to use this clip from Raider D.
Okay, you got the video ready? I'm gonna put the thing up. You do the video.
Antonio Pierce's wife just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy due to some financial investments that Antonio Pierce made over 6 years ago with Nissan and Hyundai when him and a fellow teammate went and invested in some car dealerships with some of their money. Their loan was taken out, and the way that car dealership loans happen is they're not actually loaning money. They are giving the cars in advance and then charging the dealership interest for every day that the car sits on the lot. This loan apparently was worth $28 million. This is a very typical transaction that happens with car dealerships. Now, car dealerships are a risky investment because car dealerships have ups and downs. The car market has ups and downs. And the car dealerships now are in absolute panic mode because people are not buying new cars. Well, this is called a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing that his wife filed today, and that bankruptcy filing is a Chapter 11. This, in the business world, which I know because I'm in the business world, is a strategic bankruptcy filing. Essentially, what this says is we are more than willing to pay this back. However, because the financial and the business did not go through the way that it was planned to, we are going to have to make some adjustments to the loan. This is going to be beneficial to Nissan and Hyundai because there's going to be a payment plan. However, the full amount of the loan with the cars is not going to be repaid no matter what. Even if they were to come in and liquidate all of Antonio Pierce's assets, at best, maybe they get $5 to $10 million of that $28 million back. But then they have to go through a whole process of selling his real estate, selling his cars, selling his wife's jewelry, whatever a value that they can come up with. It's not going to come anywhere near that $28 million if he were to file a Chapter 7, which is a complete bankruptcy. It's a personal bankruptcy. A Chapter 11 says, yes, we acknowledge the $28 million in debt and we have a plan to pay it back. However, we need to negotiate with Nissan and Hyundai to bring that $28 million down to something that is more manageable and get rid of the interest payments so that we can pay back, say, maybe half of it, 50%.
All right.
Okay. Well, I want to say, hold on, just to get this out the way. If anybody likes what they were hearing, wants to check out more of Raider D's content, in our description on YouTube, there's a link to his YouTube page. Click it, go ahead and subscribe to him, and check him out. Now that that's done,
recognition at its finest right there.
And he's from the Bay.
And we did this because I thought he did an awesome job on breaking this down and explaining. First of all, which we didn't get into right before, is a bankruptcy that they're filing for. And he broke it down exactly what's going on. So everyone who thinks this is going to be a distraction, this is just a money thing. Every fucking buddy, I guarantee, Savage, Raider Man, me, everybody Raider Nation has gone through money problems. And has that affected
Chapter 13?
Has that affect anybody at work? No. I mean, are we a little bummed, this, that, the other? Yeah. But, in the end, it doesn't affect us coming out and doing our job.
Hey, man, we should pull all our shit together and get one of them $20,000 fucking tailgate.
Hey, I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. That's all I can do.
Hey, my wife say we should be playing Michael Jackson song. They don't give a fuck about us.
So
hey, I say this, man, and I'm gonna get way out in front of this train because I very well could be wrong, but I believe, and I believe this with my whole heart. I believe a lot of the different things that's being thrown at Antonio Pierce have like slight racial undertones to them. That's a stretch in this regard because this is just a strict financial situation. But I believe that the implication here is met by the fact that, he happens to be this African American coach, is the title they put on him, passed over. He was picked over guys like Harbaugh and people who they looked at as more accredited. So everything they do to him in his tenure so far, even when he was an interim coach, they poo-pooed his interim status. He actually becomes a head coach, and then he becomes a rah-rah head coach, and everything. Oh, we got these guys letting them smoke cigar parties and all the rest of this bullshit. Everything is undercut. All these are like ways to pull at demand. The why, I don't know. This is why I say I can't pin it on the racism thing, but there's a racial undertone to it because they don't do the same things to his colleagues. His contemporaries don't get the same treatment. They don't get the same narratives. They don't have that same kind of disdainful narrative painted for him to have to answer questions to. It's a grown man having to answer why you do that, why you let your guys smoke cigars. Motherfucker, that's my team. My team captain said he wanted to. I just said what you want to do. He came out of the box of cigar. I didn't say, oh, you have permission. He was a grown fucking man. He lit the motherfucker and smoked it. And here we are a whole fucking season later. We going into our next season, and they still picking cigar parties like he passing out favors, like you got some kind of slave camp. Every man in that locker room, every man in that organization has been liberated. That stigma and all that weight of that bullshit is being pulled off, and then you have something like this slides in. This is just a money situation. Like the brother Raider D said, he's in business. That's why he's able to articulate it. It's not that big a deal. It's a normal loophole that people with a shitload of money and a whole lot of assets do when something funky come up. This is how you safeguard yourself. It's how you protect yourself.
Even later on in that, which wasn't in there, he talks about Donald Trump. He's done it. I mean, everybody in business, I'm not going to say everybody, but there are people in business, when you start a business, it does not work out. He's not trying to say, I don't owe the money, do whatever. He's saying, I owe the money. I'm just trying to figure out a way to pay you.
Got to be smart about it. I mean, I'm learning how to be a businessman too. I'm a brand new coach. I'm a brand new big time businessman. I'm a brand new lot of shit.
You know who else is fired for fucking bankruptcy? Antonio Brown. He turned around and he said, I got money, but I'm trying to make sure I could pay my shit back and not fucking kill myself and go broke. And that's all fucking he's trying to do. Why are we making clickbait about it? And he has a whole show about who brought this up and go. And I'm not going to fucking be saying anything like that and smashing on them because that's his show. If you want to find out where this all stemmed from, go to the Rated D podcast. Catch that show. It was a good show. But
shouts out to Rated D, man. Keep pressing the miss you.
People are choosing this shit because they want clickbait. First of all, they just want the views. Oh my God, AP's failing. He's doing this. Said podcaster podcaster, YouTuber, Instagram fucking model, whatever the fuck he is, even try to bring it up.
Very well stated.
Your standards are low.
He's the same one that did the $20,000 tailgate and shit. He also brought it up. It's just like, stop fucking doing shit to clickbait. Stop trying to get the fucking views by that. I mean, the only reason we're talking about it is we want to clear the air on this shit. Look, he's going through financial, I'm not even going to say hardship. He's got a financial issue, and it's actually his wife who's doing all this. So if his wife's handling this shit in court, and the only court issue is the fact of them saying, this is everything we own, this is how much, money we have. So we want to be able to pay back our loan. She's dealing with the court shit. He gets to focus on his job, which is coaching the fucking Raiders. And there's no distraction. The distraction is us, not us, but other people in the media talking about this shit, forcing him to have to talk about it.
Yep.
When it's no news at all.
It's no news at all.
Yeah.
It's just a man who is in business, going through a business thing and trying to fucking make sure he does right and pay his bills.
And I'll say this, because I was the one to get out there quick with the racial undertones thing. I don't want to push that so hard as to be like trying to be clickbait. I'm not fishing here when I say that. But what I'm saying is, there's only so many different things that you can kind of delineate to why somebody attacks a certain thing. And in Coach AP's case, ironically, all of those kind of line up to that. He's been doing everything in his job in an exemplary fashion. Every single thing. But every single time he faces an interview, there's always some undertone to it. How does it feel to be, this African American, this and all the rest of this crap? And the man is working on growing out of everything that he was. That's financially. He's in a new stratosphere financially he's ever been. He's he's got a whole new group of colleagues. You know what I mean? He's business partners and endeavors and all the rest. And by the way, AP, you should shout us out, man. Tap in with the cage match. You can find us at RaiderMan19.com. But you need some real Raider fan backing that have been through the nuclear bombs to bring back that true spirit that you need in that stadium. Because it's possible. It's possible, even with the newbies.
We got to give AP, on that note with that, we got to give AP time. This is his first year of being AP and trying to do it. Let's see what AP could do and what he can bring back. Let's give
Coach AP going to be in the damn playoffs. I'm thinking, I was giving it 3 years only because that's fair. But watching how he moving, I don't see no reason why we're not touching playoffs this season. I'm going all in.
We were one. If he took over, what did we say, Savage? 3 games difference, right? 3 games.
Yeah.
On another show, if he would have got the job 3 games earlier, we would have been in the playoffs last year. It would have been another Ricky Tachia situation.
And that's after the make dumbass espionage plot. He toiled a whole half a season. Like it's almost like you in a relay race. And they shoot the gun, and you just stand there in the blocks until they get around to the freaking dog leg, and then you take off running. And you catch everybody at the tape. That's literally what he did with the rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I just like, man, and people throw all that kind of crap away. I guess that's one of the little birds in my saddle behind the Aiden O'Connell, commentaries, because it just seemed like such a dishonor. To completely tear away. Look, I'm knocking shit over. To completely tear away the acumen. Look, I'm coming off the top turbo. Man, I'm ready to get down for AOC, man. Because this dude emulates greatness. His idol is Tom Brady. As much as we hate to hear about Tom Brady name, and all that kind of shit, only thing I hate about Tom Brady name is he never wore silver and black. That motherfucker's supposed to have been our quarterback. But it didn't happen. And he did all that bullshit that they was doing. I don't know. It's a whole political rant behind that shit for me. But, it was a reason why they did it for New England. And they had it happen to us instead of through us. Because we was the Raiders and they needed, the Raiders to get beat down so we can, whatever. It's all that shit, but it's real. And we've all, like Ken Stabler say, man, they want us to wear the black hat. Our role is to wear the black hat. So fucking wear it. What's happening to our fan base where nobody want to wear the black hat no more? You know? The great line is, I don't know the first time anybody ever said it, but the first time I heard it, that really felt my heart was in Ricochet. You know what I'm saying? The roster said, everybody want to go heaven. Nobody want that.
Ken Stabler said it's like the 2 Cowboys, the good Cowboys in the white hat and wearing the black hat. So
we the black hat.
Yeah.
We're the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where we fit. That's how our shit go. And that's what we doing. But they got this whole tiddlywinks ass Raider Nation that they trying to usher in. Like we not safe for kids. Like we not producing the kids that they think we not safe for. You know what I'm saying? Like this is our culture. This is our fucking creed. This is our family. This is our blood. This is how it fucking works. And if you don't bleed silver and black, if you a commentator, you claim yourself being part of silver and black, and you can't say Raiders, you'll never truly be accepted. They fake. They frauds. It's phony. And that shit creates apathy. Can't sell duff on the streets, man. Motherfuckers will come hunt you down. It's only a matter of time, and it's sad because there's so much money being lost. While they think they out there on this mission to make money, all they're really doing is losing it. You're creating disinterest.
Yeah, and it just seems like, and they feed it to us. Well, not us, but like us regular people that are out here just, watching YouTube videos or whatever, and
they're trying to spawn like a new Raider Nation. They want a new fandom.
Look what AP's in trouble, and his job might be in jeopardy, and this could be a distraction. You know what Raider, what high up Raider was always in court, and we still won games? Al Davis. And Al Davis was fighting the NFL, and we won a Super Bowl with that. This is just a regular money, financial, has nothing to do with the team at all. It's not like AP did something, where he offended somebody, like when they try to get John Gruden with the emails that weren't even as rough as or as bad as it was.
Oh, God, really?
I was going to say, we talked about it earlier today. In a recent time, we dealt with the Gruden situation. The same fucking year, we dealt with the Henry Ruggs situation. Now, those are distractions, and we still made the playoffs under Bisaccia.
We had Arnett wrapped up in all that shit, too.
Yeah.
We had a lot of distractions.
Okay. So, I mean, those are distractions.
Those are distractions.
And we still push it away. Now, I see AP coming in, and this is what I said to Savage. The minute he walks into those lines, whatever he's dealing with at home is gone. Right now, we're focusing on football.
But you know what's different than that? To me, what bothers me is the short-sightedness of people that want to run with stupid-ass narratives. Because if you think about it, the germane essence of, say, the filing of this, in his case, Chapter 7, is a business mode that says this is something bigger than me. I'm putting it in the hands of somebody that can do something about it, i.e., this is no longer a distraction to me. I'm not dealing with this anymore. We got people for that.
Yes.
So what exactly is the freaking distraction? Here comes AP's lawyer. He keeps coming to the game. What's the distraction? And like you said, his wife filed. His wife is taking care of his business. Look, I'm off taking care of some shit, baby. You know what to do. It's being done. That's the tweet. That's the X.
It's like in Goodfellas when the cops raided the house and Henry, his wife, went and grabbed the stuff and cut it up and threw it in the toilet and flushed it, even though that's not what he told her to do. But he was trying to make sure. He was trying to make sure. She's trying to make sure that no one got in trouble. And he's like, "Hey, that was our money." Anyways, going off topic.
Hey, you might have wanted to go softer, but I realized how young you are, Sam. I'd have went more with the Cheech and Chong where Cheech was behind the damn curtain talking about, hide the seeds. Get the seeds, man. They won't bust you for seeds. Get the seeds.
But see, we over here, we feel like, about the $20,000 trailer tailgate and AP, we feel like it is a distraction. It's a distraction for you guys, for everyone out there that gets stuck on these stories that you don't see what is really going on with the NFL. And that means it's time for, and I forgot to give you the memo, Raider Man, that you need your aluminum foil hat. So
I forgot.
So the government don't get into your head.
Wait, I got some.
There you go. We're gonna go and do the graphic. There you go. You do the graphic. Don't put it on you. 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 Okay, well, you put it on. Anyways, all that's a distraction because really, what really is going on is with the NFL. No one's talking about this, but here we go with the Commish Files. Are we all in our aluminum foil hats to make sure that the government, or AKA the Godellerment,
y'all shit clean, man. I gotta get my shit together.
Now, here's a story that no one's talking about. Here's a story that no one's talking about. It's been so hidden that even big news people didn't even know about it. Here's the first video right here.
Roger Goodell might be testifying today in a class action lawsuit against the NFL. I had no idea that was happening. Then I also read Jerry Jones might be testifying either today or sometime this week in a class action lawsuit. And I said, what is this? Roger Goodell's about to take the stand. We're talking about one of the greatest speakers of all time. This is something that I wish we all would have heard of. And it was all coming from your website. What the hell is happening? Where are we right now? And how does this end, probably, for everybody? Florio, as you've been the only one covering this, seemingly.
It seems like no one's paying attention to this, and I don't know why. I don't know if we just haven't prioritized it yet. We haven't taken it seriously. I think it's good that people like you are seeing, hey, whoa, Goodell testifying, Jerry Jones testifying, maybe this is something we should be paying closer attention to. This is a case that goes back to 2015. It was filed by a San Francisco pub known as the Mucky Duck, and it challenges the way, fundamentally at its core, it challenges the way the NFL sells the Sunday ticket package, the out-of-market way to, if you're a Packers fan in Pittsburgh, you can watch those games, and they market it like that. The commercials play to that idea that if I'm a displaced fan of some team and I'm in a different market, I can watch the games that way. So the fundamental question is this. Is the NFL forcing the Sunday ticket provider, previously DirecTV, now YouTube TV, to overcharge in order to ensure that a certain number of people won't get it and that they'll watch the CBS and Fox games made available to them in their local markets? It's a premium product, and there's plenty of evidence that's come in already that the NFL doesn't want it to be too cheap. It doesn't want it to be something that has a huge subscriber base, and the argument is it's trying to protect CBS and Fox. That's the core of the case, and I think caught up within that is just this idea that's been lingering ever since I first became aware of the Sunday ticket package. Why do I have to buy the whole thing for the whole year when I only care about one team's games? Why do I have to buy every week if the team that I want to watch has a Monday night game that week and I'm not going to watch any out-of-market games this weekend? So however this plays out, it could force the NFL to really change the way that games are made available to consumers. And that's a win for all of us, regardless of the verdict, regardless of what happens on appeal. This could rattle the cage enough for the NFL that they say, maybe we need to change the way this is. Maybe we do need to make it cheaper. Maybe we do need to let people buy one team at a time, 1 week at a time, one game at a time. So I hate to say it, but it's true. If the NFL loses, there's a chance that all of us win.
If the NFL loses, it's true that all of us win. You see right there that the NFL
and united can never be defeated.
And we don't keep trying to, replay the same segment because we want to keep these segments fresh. But Goodell keeps finding his way into our files that we have to expose him because the NFL, they're the biggest corporation in the world. The Super Bowl, they're trying to push for that Monday after to be a national holiday because of all the sick calls. But anyways, with all the streaming apps,
down the cage match, remember?
Yeah, they try to shut down the cage match because we were using NFL stuff like we're just playing highlights. We're not even making money off of it. NFL's like, no, I want some money. Goodell is trying to find more ways to get more money. It's like you guys print money. Why do you need more money? Let us enjoy the sport. But they know that it's a very popular sport. So the Sunday ticket.
They're trying to control us as fans. And that, to me, is where they've taken the shit too far. And that's why, and I'm going to be on my soapbox for this one, this is why, as Raider Nation, we have to realize our power in the voices and the brand that we've created. Everybody want to be nation. If any of you people out there have ever watched Little Shop of Horrors, that's the best analogy of what I could think of. Raider Nation is like Audrey 2. And Roger Goodell is that motherfucking detective at the end that came and ran up on Seymour talking about, I'll give you this money if you let me get the plants. Because we just want to we get the plants, we get a little snippets, get a little plant here, a little plant here. Everybody nation, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's a nation. Everybody wear black. Because that's what's selling for the Raiders. The Raiders is the number one brand. They keep trying to put Dallas up there with us because Dallas is everywhere too. But if you're talking about what you call it, pound for pound, bang for the buck, nobody fuck with the Raiders, and they know that. Raiders ain't trying to change their colors and stick blue and all that kind of shit in it. That's why I don't understand why they do that with them fucking hats. That's all NFL stuff. Just because they know this is an era of people want to have their own choice. You know, it's that pseudo independence, you know, and it's no different. Every generation is like that. You know, when we were kids, we thought we ain't gonna be nothing like our parents and all the rest of that kind of bullshit that young people think. But this generation got a special gift for not paying homage to the past, for not recognizing what comes before them, for wanting to believe that everything starts with them. And a lot of that shit, I believe, is piggybacking off of what we just experienced with that whole COVID pandemic or whatever the fuck you want to call it, with that whole shit, because it gave people this sense of entitlement, everybody in their own isolated wildernesses by themselves and trying to keep their fucking morals up and all that stuff. And all you need is money, and you can go out there and kind of pay for your own ownership or whatever the fuck you touch. And it's taking it too far. That's why you got people like even in the restaurant, you can't even serve people no more. You know, I wanted 2 straws, motherfucker, and the whole restaurant get towed up because that person is feeling that damn entitled.
California.
And the NFL is doing that to us, and it's creating that kind of element amongst us as fans. Raider fans aren't. It's not for the fans, by the fans motif anymore. That's just a nice little cliche that they can clip and take and put on some shit that they're selling now and claim that it's original Raiders shit. And as long as the Raider fans keep selling into it because they want to be a part of something so bad, so what's so bad? Why is it so bad that he's not a Raider fan? It's good that they got different opinions and all the rest of this shit. Where is that coming from? Why you want to be Raider Nation then? You know, and that we as a voice keep shit on Jermaine because we are the prototype. We are what they're using as the guinea pig to propagate this new fandom. How do we get everybody crazy like the fucking Raider fans? Well, you mimic them. You know, the greatest form of flattery, you know, from the get one is imitation. You know, the one thing they can't imitate, and then shouts out to my OG Raider Rob. He said this shit to me face to face about 3 years ago. He said, I have no idea you got blessed with something with your Raider Man thing. He said, because there's a lot of people that may be out there want to call themselves Raider Man and all the rest of that kind of shit now, but nobody can fucking copy you. You got the one thing in Raider Nation that hasn't been able to be duplicated because you are fucking all original. You just can't pop up with another Raider Man. And you know, maybe that's why I take it so personal that I'm not out there doing my bullhorn thing the way I'm supposed to be. You know, maybe in that natural Raider way, they trying to keep Raider Man out of that because then we become as unique as we've always been. Then we are the black hole, and we are that original black hole. Then we are that black hole, that Raider Nation that was created to be what they're trying to sell, but they won't control it because they don't control me. You know, that makes it different. But I tell you what, if you're looking for money, and we're talking about multimedia, let me make this pitch. Entertainment brings a hell of a lot more money. So, you know, it's the classic case of you give more flies with salt. I mean, with more flies with sugar than vinegar. Well, you know, it might be time for them to really kind of reconsider what they're trying to do with this whole corporatization of Raider Nation. Because, you know, this was a thriving brand, and it still is. The people out here that love it still love it just as much. But you go out into the forest and hold a piece of bread out to the wolves and see how long it takes them to come take it out your hand. And if you're not doing it right, you know, it's people dying. The people who created the black hole, that original idea, the 2 motherfuckers that all this shit is based on, they're both dead. God rest their souls. You know, people are important. People are precious. You know, time waits for no man. And while they're out there trying to recreate Raider Nation to make money off of and create their new, what they call it, luxury bus, tailgate systems and all the rest of that shit, you should at least have the people that created it out there putting the tables together, you know, setting the places.
Gearing back towards that video, though, they're talking about, you know, the NFL ticket. And I did like one thing he said, because that is the truth in there about most of us that are outside the market, which you guys are now being in California, right, is all we care about is the Raider games. And why are we set there to spend $400+ for all the games when we don't even need it, all the games? We're just trying to watch one game. And it's like Goodell's hands in this being, we're going to price this so high so you get your one team that you want to watch. But if you can't do it, we're going to force you to watch whatever's in your market. For me, that's the Kansas City, Denver Broncos, and fucking whatever else. Fucking out here. Obviously, I don't watch this shit because I don't give a
snot rocket.
But, you know, and you guys, it's the 49ers and the fucking Rams and the fucking Chargers and shit.
And the Seahawks.
And the Seahawks. And yet we can make it simple. And I don't know if the other video that you have goes into this, but you know, there's money to be. They can make more money.
Yep.
YouTube, because you know the one thing NFL's going to make their fucking money because YouTube had to pay them a certain amount of money to get the rights to do this. So let's say YouTube paid them $2 billion to get the rights to the Sunday Ticket. NFL got their $2 billion regardless. YouTube
there's more in the video.
Okay. I'll play the video then. I'm sorry.
Here's another part right here.
Okay, so obviously, if people are going to pay cheaper money to watch their favorite team, that's good news for humans. The bottom line of the NFL is obviously something that'll take a massive shot here. I think I saw from one of your tweets, like, potentially $21 billion in this class action lawsuit to over 2.5 million people that could potentially sign on to file alongside this mucky duck lawsuit that's taking place. The NFL, I assume, is just saying, we're a business. We're allowed to charge whatever the hell we want. This isn't the only way to watch our shows. This is an additive to everything we do. This is like people that charge $150 for t-shirts. That's what their business is. This is what our business is. Is that what they're saying? And how likely is that to be the winning side in the end of this entire thing?
Well, I mean, that's the gist of it. That they're not engaged in anything that would violate the antitrust laws, that they are just managing their business. It's a premium product. It makes choice available to all consumers. They can watch the games in the local market if they want to. They can purchase Sunday Ticket if they want to. But again, the fight goes down to the pricing and whether and to what extent the NFL, working with CBS and Fox and DirecTV, now YouTube TV, is conspiring to basically fix the price in order to protect the contracts under which CBS and Fox pay billions of dollars to the NFL for those Sunday games. And they want people to watch their local CBS and Fox affiliates and drive up the ratings that way and not send them off to Sunday Ticket. The antitrust angle here, and this is fundamentally an antitrust case. The NFL has an exemption dating back to 1961 as it relates to selling packages to CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC, the broadcast networks. They're allowed to sell all the games together. If you want the Cowboys, you also got to take the games maybe you don't want, and we decide what goes where. They can't be sued for antitrust for that, even though they are 32 different businesses operating under the shield. They're 32 separate businesses. They would be subject to antitrust law. They're trying to argue in this case that the broadcast antitrust exemption extends to whatever is happening with Sunday Ticket and what they may or may not be doing that would otherwise violate the law. So I think they have arguments that, hey, it's not antitrust violation, and then even if it is, it falls under our exemption that we've had since 1961. So they always have a good defense. It feels like a tough case for the NFL because it seems pretty clear that, yeah, somebody's putting their thumb on the scale to drive that price up so people don't buy it.
So right there, the NFL, then which is, you would think that's kind of backwards. Like, why would they have something that they're advertising, but they don't want you to buy it? Because they want you to watch the games that's already broadcast on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, or whatever. But then again, you still got to pay for the other. So NFL is trying to find the money either way. And the funny thing about it is, with the YouTube is, they have to buy the rights to have the ticket, but then the NFL is still trying to control how they use it. So, and then of course with the NFL, this is probably why Al Davis wanted to crush the NFL a long time ago before the merger even happened, because the NFL, they think they're better than everybody. They know that you love their product, so let's go and raise it. You know, let's see how much you really love our product. we'll make sure that you can't watch your games out of market, people, especially like us in Oakland, in the Bay Area, in LA, when the Raiders are in LA, you know, Asylum out there in Chiefs Kingdom, you know, like the
I got a
NFL just
theory.
wants your money.
Since we in our fancy brain protected hats, I went back to old school helmet. I got a wayward conspiracy theory. Maybe, and just maybe, and I'm only thinking about it because I know a lot of people who don't get caught up in all of this cost of it because they got their stream game together. And they're finding ulterior ways to be able to get these streams and not having to be handcuffed by the rules and regulations of what they're propagating under NFL guidelines. Of course, they have the businesses and stuff like that, the people that have to pay them to get their services and whatnot. But there's a lot of periphery people out there that they're missing money on. And I can't help but to wonder if the NFL, being how and who they are, like, okay, this is how much money we're supposed to be getting. So we're basing all of our stuff off of this. We're only getting this much because, people bootlegging our shit. So in order to make our money back, we just put our finger on the scale and say, this is what it is. Now, it may or may not be intentional in that regard, but what it happens is it creates a system that they now have to deal with. And maybe with this whole packaging of games and all the rest of this bullshit, maybe that's just these corporations' way of trying to make it look like they're doing this shit on purpose. Maybe they have no freaking idea what they're doing. It's literally just a freaking money grab. And then all they're trying to do is trying to get that nut, and they can't find a way to get to it. So let's cancel them out both.
Asylum? He froze. They got to him.
There you
go.
I have no foil on mine.
I feel it's more this way. I feel it's more this way. Basically, what they're trying to say in these videos right now is the NFL's marking this so fucking high to force, because they've had deals with NBC, CBS, shit like that for so long that they're trying to force people to watch those games instead of watching the games that they want to out of market. Now, for example here, what happens, let's say 100,000 people, I don't know what the number is, we're just going to say 100,000 people buy the NFL ticket at $450 fucking dollars, whatever it is, for the year. They're making only a limited amount and trying to force this. If they were about the fucking money, how much more money could they make if you broke it up to individuals and let's say it was $70, for us to get the Raider games. For fucking people in California who are Kansas City fans because they're bandwagon fans. Anyways, who want to get Kansas City. Now you got 20 million people paying $70. You make more money that way.
See?
The thing is, that's going to go to YouTube, and they're just I think the NFL's, Goodell is just trying to help pad the pockets of the people of the stations that have been there for the long term. They've been with NBC, CBS, ABC, shit like that, Fox, for so many years that if we put it out of touch so the people who aren't around are forced to watch the games they don't give a flying fuck about.
Keep their buddies with some business.
Well, there are people, I like football. I'll watch other games.
Unless it's a 49er game.
Well,
I've been known to protest them motherfuckers outright.
But, I'll watch the other games, but sometimes that's the thing. They force it. Well, I ain't paying $450 to get, the Raider game.
Right.
So I'm stuck watching the fucking Chiefs game.
Right. Because that game is on. I got fantasy football to watch.
So there, it's like you helped us out 50, 60 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. So we're going to do this to help keep your ratings up, to keep you relevant. Because with the whole streaming shit, people are either streaming and paying for those. You got, cable is obsolete now.
Yeah.
Cable is obsolete. So YouTube YouTube TV, which is a streaming service, should have control over what they're getting, because they paid their whatever billions, and I guarantee it's in the billions, to the NFL for the rights to Sunday Ticket to be able to get all those streams. But we're like, you pay us for this, we'll give you this, but I got a little bit of control here, and this is how you have to do it. And that's a conspiracy to get these other channels that are struggling. I mean, CBS, they got sitcoms, all this other shit. They're struggling to stay relevant right now because people ain't watching.
You know, that's a great freaking point you're making. And in that kind of relationship, especially so like good old boys, you got to believe there's some back corner money on that. Like, how much would they be paying out? Like, hey, you know, like Rodney Dangerfield was like, keep it fair, will you? You know, take care of us, you know, just be out there for it. I give you a little bit of nut off the top and, you know, just keep it fair. So there's a lot of money to change hands and shit like that. That's some hell of a in the bed. But man, that's real conspiracy theory. You nailed the shit out of that one. That just
like
makes too much sense to not be plausible.
That's like that old mafia. You know, you got to keep the right people. Got to keep those wheels greased. You got to keep the pockets. You know, just to. Hey, you know, that's what Goodell's doing. I got one more video in regards to this subject. Here we go right here.
Got it. And I think the first real headline that I saw of this case, without knowing this case was taking place, was that ESPN offered up like a $70 thing. Sunday Ticket Trial shows ESPN proposed selling the full season package for only $70 along with a single team option. The NFL didn't like the idea. Now you're getting that from the court documents, which I assume Mighty Ducks representation are the ones that are saying that that's how the NFL handled it all. But for ESPN, hey, let's go, man.
Yeah, $70.
Hey, way to go, ESPN.
It's a good look for ESPN. That's right. It shows that the ESPN was trying to, and look, I mean, you can say they're trying to create more options that are affordable for the consumer, but they're also trying to make money off of the investment that you would make in buying the rights to the Sunday Ticket package. You said something earlier that the NFL would lose money if it has to change the way it does business. I don't know that that's the case. They're still going to get their fee from the Sunday Ticket provider. And it should be enough for the NFL to say, what are you paying us, $2 billion a year? Okay, fine. Do whatever you want with it. As long as we get our $2 billion, do whatever you want with it. If you're going to set a low price point and have a ton of subscribers, fine. High price point, small subscribers, we don't care. We're getting our money either way. And I think that if they're forced to abandon this practice of we want the price high, they're still going to make their money. Somebody's still going to give them a huge amount in order to have the rights to Sunday Ticket.
I just looked it up, and he is right. YouTube TV is paying roughly $2 billion for the rights to the NFL Sunday Ticket.
It's a lot of money, man. And I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure I cancel it before the season starts, because then I'd be paying that $400 and something. I think I just outed myself. But I gotta watch my Raider games, man. And I wish, you know, and it's funny how ESPN, who's owned by Disney, you got one evil corporation trying to tell the other evil corporation, hey, man, you're being a little bit too evil right now, NFL, you know, because Disney owns ESPN. I don't know if you caught that right there. Come on. Okay. Anyways, but I think it's just funny that, hey, you know, let's let the consumers, man, they're the ones that pay us. ESPN let go of a lot of people because I don't know if it is overpaid contracts with all, like, you know, Jeff Van Gundy got fired and Mark Jackson got fired off the NBA side. You know, all these former players and athletes who were, you know, commentators and all of that, all of them got fired. The only one that kept was Stephen A. Smith, probably because he's a high draw, you know, he draws a lot of ratings. But ESPN's all like, we got to make some money. NFL's all like, no, you're going to do it our way. They don't like that because, I mean, it's like, do you want to have power? Do you want to have, God, I can't even think of words right now. Power over profit. Power over profit. There we go.
But the profit is the power to them. And you know, the irony in all this is the hammer that had the other shoe that's still yet to drop is when they throw back, they do all this quibbling over robbing the poor folk for every fucking penny and pence that they can get out of them. And they keep us bent over the barrel because they know this is our lifeblood. They know this is our passion. And like keeping, you know, God bless the people that's struggling, keeping chemically dependent people away from their shit. And not helping them, not rehabilitating them off of it. They wanted to keep you hooked and addicted and chasing after them. but the money shoots through the fucking roof, and then the commodities that they're using to make the money shoot through the roof, i.e. the players, get the heat for getting these fucking exorbitant ass salaries. It's like, oh, the player is not worth this much. And, you get those fucking arguments, and they're having such a hard time having the rubber meet the road with humanity when all they doing is fucking fleecing people hand over fist for money. As long as that money keeps growing, so do the player salaries. So at what point do people stop bitching about the player salaries?
Well, I mean, people have bitched about player salary, but that's beside the point. I mean, the NFL in this whole, what we're talking about here, the NFL is getting $2 billion. Okay, that's all they get. Now, YouTube TV gets the profits out of whatever they fucking sell. The only thing is the NFL is controlling, how they use or how they can, do this shit. So they're kind of limiting YouTube TV on how much money they can make and everything. The salaries, I mean, that comes from ticket sales, merch sales, all that other shit. And going
the biggest part used to be the TV revenue. That's what was creating the great big ass salary cap.
The teams get a piece of TV revenue, but that's a local market, not, and that's why the NFL's trying to force you to watch the local market.
That's what I'm trying to get back to, right?
They're trying to make me pay for Kansas City's fucking shit. Fuck Kansas City. I'm trying to watch the Raiders shit. I want my money for the Raiders, not Kansas City.
They need you to pay for their new stadium.
That means you got to get your ass over there to Vegas and make sure you spend every penny inside the stadium for the Raiders to get that money. Any other money, you don't know where that shit going.
I spend it up on merchandise and everything else. I mean, they make the tickets cheaper. I'll go to the stadium. Hey, I'll even say it like this. Anybody want to pay for asylum to go to the goddamn game? I'd gladly go to the game and help support the Raiders monetarily. Because trust me, I'll drink my money's worth in beer alone.
That's what you're supposed to do. How are you going to keep them kidneys flushed?
I gotta keep them floating somehow.
Gotta keep them floating, man. No stones.
It's like the NFL is like Big Worm, and we're just Smokey. Where's my money, Smokey? Where's my money, Smokey?
You're playing with my feelings.
Man, it's true though. I mean, it's highway robbery on every fucking level, and it's sad because we just fans. And it's challenging for me to separate it all because, becoming the bullhorn of the black hole, you playing a part. You playing a role in something. This is a production. Raider Nation, the Black Hole Experience, that was a production almost in a sense being put on. Everything the way that we greeted fans in and the traditions that Raider Head put up with, the Raider Head oath. I mean, the Raider Oath initiation showers and all that kind of stuff. It was a fan experience. Everything was built and designed and influenced for the tailgate. And now the tailgate is being held out as like this Maltese Falcon that's really kind of untouchable. And the experiences when you get there aren't even there. And that's really, really sad. And, ultimately, it's like a Happy Meal with no fucking toy in it. You know what you're getting, but ultimately you're just paying for packaging.
Well, yeah, it's like when you have a movie and it does well, but they want to have a sequel, but they can't get the actual the original actors, so they try to find replacement.
And they just force the fucking sequel, yeah.
And it's like it's not the same.
And it's nowhere close. Even if you got an A-list actor, it's almost you almost change the whole plot of the fucking story because that person ain't the fucking character that you sold me.
Yeah. Well, in the NFL, the whole thing, like Goodell, he wants to go and change OTAs. He wants to go and add more games because that's more money coming in, and he wants to do all these things because
which will affect players' contracts, though, which means they got to get paid more money.
See. I be so far when I got my hat on too tight. I just was on that street.
You change it from 17 games to 18 games. Now you got to pay him an extra game check.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I really believe all this shit is about. I believe in this, my hypothetical. This is where my silver hat goes to, I can't help it. I think I believe in the players. If there's no players, there's no game. And all of the mentality of all these money motherfuckers are trying to, they're forcing this mentality that there's ownership shit. They really believe that these grown ass men and these abilities that they have, that's selling their talents to these networks and all this shit for their entertainment. They're becoming business savvy. It's harder to hold them. They're not fucking slaves anymore. People are too smart for this shit, and it's becoming a fucking, I think it's coming a thing on that top level. It's hard for them to know how to parse that money now.
I'm going to argue with you on that one. Without the players, there ain't no game. Without the fans, there's no fucking game.
Oh, absolutely. But they're finding a way. They're cloning fans now, bro. And I want to be real careful on this road, but we're not dealing with natural childbirth of these fandoms anymore. This shit's being cloned in the fucking test tubes, and they're forcing these fandoms on people, and they selling this shit. It's like literally, it's contrived fandom, and I truly believe that. The smallest markets are being made. It seems like they got packed out houses and all the rest of that shit. And I think it's like what you're saying, how they find a way to make sure they pipeline these local markets and all that shit. But they can't even show the fucking stands because ain't no people in them. It's like they're trying to find a way to keep this smoke and mirrors game going and propagate this fucking brand. But it still, and you right where it says, the fans are the true control because we're the consumer. We stop the money, all this shit stopped, period. But it's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? We're going to pay because of that athlete. You know what I mean? That part don't get lost. And the sad part about it is there's so many fans now that believe that the fan part of it is so strong that they are like part owners of these players that they're rooting for. And now that shit is starting to stem over into fantasy football owners. I'm a fantasy football owner, so I'm going to get in your DM. How come you didn't have a good game this week? Motherfucker, I lost by 2 points. You normally give me 17, that kind of shit. And these people have access, sometimes direct access to the people who are creating this entertainment. So the fan part of it is being a fan. I'll get out first and speak. The fan shit is going way too far because people think because they're paying for a ticket that they own a piece of these commodities. And that's because the fucking organizations are fleecing fans for so much and pulling you in and selling you all this shit, and they make you feel like you one of the plantation owners. Now you on a horseback riding around with your fucking rifle watching the gun line when it's not the truth. And I really believe that shit is becoming an issue because there's so much money in it, and there's still that good old boy network. There's so many of the motherfuckers that's making so much money that still feel like that boy ain't worth that much. That one ain't worth that much. And that kind of shit creates ripples that we on the lay people, we can't dig on now. Like, we don't know how to parse all that. We just want to root for our people. But that's why we can't even get to our own fucking games. There's too many layers on this onion, and it takes for people to stand the fuck up and say what their dilemma is. This is what this shit is causing me, and this shit need to be recognized. Because we are the fucking fans. That's what put the fans back in the driver's seat, not trying to own these motherfuckers by taking up our own fucking crop. I'm sounding like I'm preaching now, but we got to stand on our own truths. Stop selling out your brands. And speaking of Raider Nation, to put it in layman's terms, stop propagating, like, when they use the term stop propagating super fans against each other now. This race to be the greatest super fan and stuff. All of that stuff is built, and no knock on the people that's doing it, because a lot of people are just, hey, shit, they got a right to live, they got the money to do it and all that shit, so great, live, best life now. But what it's doing is putting all of the power into the NFL, because you're racing for their attention, and they're putting you up against all these other people, so it looks like it's just a natural competition or just fan against fan, but it's not. You feeding into that system that says we run your fandom. And then they start creating the rules that change how the shit happens and all this stuff. And they're selling all the same names. You just keep claiming black hole. So you just say, hey, this is Raider Nation. There's only one nation. But you're not even talking to none of the people that created it. They're creating their own fans. They're just plugging in people. We got this person over here. Maybe that motherfucker that can afford that $20,000 bus. He probably got 5 of them. They got them all lined up. He's in charge of that project. And he's going to do it his way. But you're not going to get the real Raider fan experience. I wonder how other teams are doing it, but none of them got shit on us because we started all of this the way that it is shit. We're the reason why people tune in to watch the fans. And
Yeah.
so that has even been turned into a business. But the people who created that, and that's why I stay on that soapbox, the people who created that element aren't benefiting, aren't the benefactors of what's being propagated. That's the problem. That, in my opinion.
Well, just like we did in the 90s, we had the illegal box to watch all our HBO,
Black
Cinemax,
box.
and all that.
AB
You know, our
said-
pay-per-view. I mean, you got our trusted. I'm not gonna out them because I might need them again when the Raiders start playing. I can't watch them on TV. We got our streamers out there. You can't stop us.
There's
Right?
ways, man.
This is
I got
ways.
an app for that.
yeah. This is Raider Nation prohibition. We're gonna find ways. Like they try to stop alcohol. You're not gonna stop Raider Nation, the real Raider Nation that
Never.
we all know. So with that, we want to thank everyone who was on the show in the comments. You know, these episodes when there's nothing going on, they're not hard, but they're not easy. We just make sure that we're not over here trying to spit out the same garbage that the clickbaiters try to feed you. We just try to debunk them like Mythbusters, even though we don't even know if we even solved any problems or not. We're just letting you know that don't follow, don't listen to what they're saying. It's just a distraction from what's really going on is you're spending money regardless, and that's what we're trying to help you understand. The NFL has their own under things or whatever, and that's what's going on.
I tell you what, you want to back off of this whole slow period crap? We can keep the conversation germane to the main thing because what's going on each and every day is the rent.
Yeah.
but the truth of the matter is, with this team, watching the development of our young quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, and watching this pure competition between he and Gardner Minshew, that is literally like a streaming headline on a daily basis. And I think it's so lazy of these people who are out there claiming to be these, newscaster, commentators, and all this shit, content creators. They don't see that in true, like, football competitor, the competition of football, the game, of finding who the leaders are on the team, of growing the team, of developing the positions, and watching the Raiders, who notoriously have toiled in the NFL for decades because of the mediocrity of the quarterback position. And now we have on Spotlight, on the national stage, with a loaded freaking roster that includes the likes of a Devontae Adams and a Jacoby Myers, paired with a Brock Bowers and a Michael Mayer, in the backfield with a unicorn like Zeus, who people dying to see what that kid can do coming out of the backfield. I'm excited about Lobby, to be honest with you, because of the intangibles of that dude. But the element of Getsy, we spoke of him earlier in this podcast. The unknown. There's no book on the Raiders. How can that ever be dead space? How can there never be anything to talk about? There's so much lineage. There's so much tradition. There's so much culture. We're going to get it. I'm grateful that you guys always tap into me and let me become a part of the cage match. We've been.
Sorry, my bad.
Nah, I just realized I was going long, but I just was saying, man.
I didn't hit my mouse. That was on me.
I'm honored to be a part and being upheld in this family, and especially for you guys to recognize me for who I am. I know I'm the original bullhorn or the black hole, but it wouldn't mean shit if it didn't mean shit to the people. And that's what Raider Nation is really all about. That's the true essence, the germane thing in the pure hearts of every real Raider fan. And the way that our brand is being kind of like homogenized, just being watered down and diluted. And I'll use the term clone. They're cloning out fans to recreate their version of what we've created. And it's sad. It's sad. So I encourage every fan, especially our Raider Nation, to realize the original heart of the true fan of why we do what we do. Why are you supporting what you're supporting? And stand up for yourself. because you can only be robbed when you lay your stuff out there. You know, we do hold the power, and they're like Asylum said, there's no game without the fans. But fans started coming because those games was out there as an attraction. And those players got to be held in the right and proper space. And that's what we've always done in the black hole primarily. That's why we had so many close relationships with people like Grady Jackson. I mean, I'm not going to go through names. Name dropping is pointless. But there's a reason why those teams feel like we're a part of those teams. And why these relationships last and why they're able to, why it has so much power that people that's not even Raider fans are able to make money hand over fist off of it. We as Raider fans can look at ourselves and realize that we are the people. We are the power. And, you know, it kind of stops all that bullshit. You dig? The money going to be the money. The money going to be there. The money was here when we got here. Who's, you know, it's going to be here when we die? It's the people. Raider Man is about the people. I love the people. It's all about the people. I was just watching.
And
Don't get me started.
am a Raider fan.
No, but real talk, man. You know, we are the main thing. And fans, you know, regardless of what team you own or that you root for, you know, for us not to have these, like the common interest to argue about during the holidays, you know, the Raiders versus Weiner fan, holiday arguments over Thanksgiving dinner, and we F the donkeys and all the rest of the kind of shit that get created from that natural animus that true fandom creates. These NFL motherfuckers are trying their best to create to control that. I have no idea what that's about, why that's even important for other people that feel like they need to control people. But when you can control fanaticism, that's some deep shit, man. And I don't think it's enough people that really stand back and dig on what you're lending to that organization, what you're lending to that entity when you're giving of your own spirit. The only thing you control is your fandom. And people holding their fandoms out for opportunities to try to claim that they're the best fan, shitting on all the fans that came before them. No reverence for anything, And God bless it. Maybe it might be that generation that quick to put their parents in the fucking rest homes. I can't speak to it. I don't know. But whatever it is, fan is a short version of fanatic. It is like something that you drive after, something you can't control yourself, something that drives you in a lot of ways. And now that fanatic has adopted the fan, and the fan only wants to control his fellow man. And that shit has got to stop. Yeah.
Well,
that's the tweet.
Once I feel like once we start winning with Coach AP, we'll be back. The originals will be back. But until then, we got to
get Raider Man to the torch. We can fix this shit.
Raider Man to the torch.
You hardcore Raider Oaks, at least the first 4 games of the season. Oh, I'm telling you, boy, the lifeblood will be back.
Yes. We are a half hour over our limit, so we got to try to close it out. But we want to thank you, Raider Man, once again for coming on to the show. We appreciate you every time you come on. You're always there when we need you. You're a big part of the show. The show is not the same without the oath. I gotta practice that one.
You go from this to this.
That was nice.
To everybody in the chat, except for you, Douglas Sinclair, we thank you for coming on. And shouts out to my sister. She was bringing back some old school black memories too.
Shouts out to Elise. Shouts out to Miss Anna. Oh yeah, I see Anna. Yeah, right on. Have a great night, Queen.
All right. Anything else? Anything you want to say, Asylum?
Nope. I'm good. I think I said my piece. I did my call outs. I did, I got heated there for a minute. I'm good. Don't get me started.
Do mine quick. Hit up RaiderMan19.com. Hit the hamburger. Get your Raider Oath merch, man. Keep that thing propagating. For the crippled children, I'm hollering it with Anna. Raiders.
And we didn't have Space Beast on, but just in case,
hey,
the Chupacabra coming.
The Chupacabra coming.
The Chupacabra.
All right, with that, we end every show like we always do. And this is also an original Raider from the Oakland Coliseum. Raider Milt, a.k.a. to me, Coach Wallace from my old high school. Everyone, good night.
Shouts out Raider Fan Radio.
Yeah, Raider Fan Radio. They have a new video that just came out too. Go to Raider Fan Radio on YouTube. They got a new episode that just came out. I just watched it the other day. Always entertaining. Shouts out to Rob Howard, Stoner Dude, and of course the beautiful Black Hole Steph.
Beautiful.
With that said, everyone, good night. Don't follow the clickbait. Don't follow the clickbait. Have a good night, everybody. Until next week.
Hey, and don't forget, Raider D Podcast. Thank you for
Raider D
allowing us to
Podcast.
use your clip.
Shouts out Raider D.
You know, and go check him out. He's got his own content. Don't forget about him.
All righty. With that, good night, everybody. Have a good night. Yeah, you know.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.